afternoon. I'm Steve Lennox. Cincinnati Bengals head coach Zach Taylor told the media today that the team will have their top pass rusher, Trey Hendrickson, for Saturday's AFC divisional playoff game against the Tennessee Titans. Hendrickson, 14 sacks during the regular season, suffered the concussion. And last weekend's playoff win against the Raiders, he has been cleared from the league's concussion protocol. Packers home Saturday against the 49ers at Lambeau Field. ESPN football analyst Harry Douglas with Greeny today shared his thoughts on the Packers QB.
If there's one quarterback I wish I would have played with in my career, you want to know who that one guy is?
I'm guessing.
Aaron Rodgers. And it's no knock on the guys that I played with because Matt Ryan was tremendous. Mariota was tremendous. I played with those guys. But I'm just saying, like, if I had an opportunity, hey, Harry, who do you want to play with? 1 year. I'm choosing Aaron Rodgers over everybody.
Harry Douglas today with Greeny, Mike Greenberg here on ESPN Radio. Bulls are going to be without guard Lonzo Ball for 6 to 8 weeks. Ball, a torn meniscus in his left knee, set to undergo surgery in the coming days.
If you want to find quality new hires in the new year, post on Indeed. When you sponsor a post, you'll get matched instantly with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed meet your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios. That's right.
And off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR, presented by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana. I'm Matt.
Love you, Matt.
Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
And Mr. Toby Tomplay. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. Busy day. Ali Gaye made it official. He's returning for LSU football. I got some thoughts on that coming up here quickly. Scott Kushner will join us in about 90 minutes from right now. We'll talk some Pels. They're on the road against the Knicks tonight at the Garden, but of greater consequence. We ever going to see Zion again? I'll ask Scott. And Mike Triplett just can't quit us. Or maybe we just can't quit Mike Triplett. Mike Triplett has a piece up today at ESPN.com examining extreme officiating bias against the New Orleans Saints, which is apropos because that's what we're going to start today with LSU. All these refs are cheating us, y'all. They're cheating us. LSU lost to Bama 70-67 at Coleman Coliseum. I kid, but I do understand that the officiating is going to be a part of the conversation, so we're going to talk about it and address it. And it's not just that the fouls, the whistles have been one-sided. It's that it's been egregious, and it's been 4 games now. I don't want to start there, but I'll get there. Two things, first and foremost. Number one, no, there's no conspiracy against LSU. The league isn't out to get Will Wade. They're not out there to screw LSU. There's no grand conspiracy. That's one. Number two, a lot of people have asked, hey, is LSU in trouble? No, LSU's not in trouble. They're not in trouble. For much of the last 6 weeks, with respect to the LSU basketball team and the conference schedule, what have we said? It's not just here. It's everywhere. Like literally everybody that's talked about this team. What has everybody talked about for the last 6 weeks with respect to the conference schedule? The first 7 games, brutal, right? We've all talked about it. You're going to lose games. We've talked about it for weeks. It's much easier, though, when you take the 10,000-foot view. Like before football season, you go, they're going to be 10-2. They're going to be 9-3. You say that, yeah, I'll be happy with that. But then the week they lose a game, you're pissed off. So I get it. When you're in the storm, it's harder to pull back and maintain perspective. LSU's net ranking is still in the top 10. They're 3-3 in conference play. If they win at Tennessee on Saturday, they've done what I'd hope they do in these first 7, which was split the road games. Now, I thought they'd hold serve at home, and they lost a game to Arkansas, which is disappointing and inexplicable. But 4-3 through the first 7 is a real win because you're going to be favored in every game the rest of the way except probably your road trip to Rupp Arena. Maybe a slight underdog at Arkansas, we'll see. So, no, this team isn't in trouble. They're going to get Xavier Pinson back. They're going to get Darius Days back. The schedule's going to lighten up. They're going to string together a lot of wins. They're going to be a top 5 seed in the tournament. Hopefully they're around a 2 or a 3 if things go really well. I don't know if that's realistic. Maybe a 4 or a 5. We'll see. But either way, this team's not in trouble. So let's get that out of the way first. And you also didn't expect to go to Coleman Coliseum and win. You hope they could win, but LSU was a 4-point underdog in the game for a reason. I loved Will Wade's technical foul because without the technical foul, you probably lose by 30. You're down 13. It was unraveling on you. Well, 13 after the free throws. It was unraveling on you quickly in the second half. There was frustration. It was starting to boil over. I think it was a miss. I think the defender pinned the ball against the backboard, and I think that should have been called goaltending. Now, the foul on the other end was a legitimate foul. You foul a guy going up to the rim. But I loved Will's technical because at that point, that's when sparks flew. LSU hits 4 straight threes. They get back in the ball game. They tie the game. They have the ball with a chance to take the lead. And, well, what ailed LSU for much of the night came to bite them there late. It was a great rally from down 13 when so much was against you. On the road, without Pinson, without Days. It was. I mean, it was a great rally. And we've seen that from this team. They've got that, whatever word you want to use, grit, determination, hustle, heart, drive. I don't care. You pick. You know them all. This team has that, and that's a good thing. They're not quitters. That's a good thing. Yes, the foul disparity was concerning, but I will say, so too is committing 20 turnovers. Y'all, that is the bigger issue with this team right now. I get it that everybody's upset about the fouls. And when you lose a game as a fan, you typically default to who can I blame that's not my guy. So you've pointed the refs, and you look at something egregious like 25 fouls called against LSU to 10 called against Alabama. And I'm here to tell you that LSU, there's not going to be many games left where the other team has whistled more than LSU. Again, more on that in a second. But the problem is when you commit 20 turnovers and give them 21 points off of 20 turnovers. Alabama's a team that shoots a buttload of threes. Technical term, by the way, buttload. They shoot a buttload of threes. And they missed all 15 of them in the second half yesterday. They were 0 for 15 in the second half. For the game, Alabama was 7 of 34. They missed 27 three-pointers in the ballgame. They shot 20% from 3 and 34% from the floor for the game. If you're going to beat Alabama, that's what you need to have happen. They were ice cold. You had your opportunity, but you turned it over 20 times, and they got 21 points off of your 20 turnovers. And maybe of even greater significance is you got out-rebounded again. 44-36. They out-rebounded you by 8, and the most concerning stat is the offensive rebounds. Alabama pulled down 19 offensive rebounds to your 9. You can point at the refs all you want. I think there were some misses. I do. Look, both ways. The block by Mwani at the end of the game, Christ almighty. There was body contact. He's got his elbow in the dude's dome. I mean, that was the most egregious foul of the night. They called it a block. Whatever. There were some misses on both ends. But in that ball game, if you protect the basketball and you do a better job on the glass, you win it. You win the game. And if you make your free throws. LSU shot 60% from the free throw line. They were 9 of 15. Make your free throws, rebound better, protect the basketball. You win that game on the road. Things they didn't do. The things that LSU can control that they didn't do in that ballgame. And that's disappointing. It's very disappointing to watch Brandon Murray turn the ball over because he catches a pass while he's out of bounds. It's very frustrating that when you're in the final minutes of the ball game, Tari Eason's on the right wing and he's dribbling behind his back and dribbles out of bounds. That's an unforced error. Like, he just dribbled it out of bounds. I'm laughing because it's not funny, but you kind of have to laugh or you'd cry. I mean, you had a shot late in the game where Tari he couldn't finish around the rim, and then out of frustration he fouls. You send Bama to the free throw line. Like, I think they're going to be okay because you're going to get Xavier Pinson back. And when you do, it's going to make your offense more fluid. There's no question about it. The turnover number is going to come down. The offensive efficiency is going to go up. You took your floor general, your veteran SEC point guard away from this team. They managed to win a game at Florida in a low-scoring game. It was great to see it happen. But you've struggled without him the last two games. You need him back. And I don't know if he's going to play Saturday against Tennessee. I hope he does. But again, you have a lot of runway left. You're 6 games into your 18-game conference schedule. You got 12 to go, and you're probably going to be and then after Tennessee, you'll have 11 to go. And as I mentioned, you're going to be favored in basically all but one of them. So see if you can go steal one this weekend at Tennessee. It's a team you already beat, and that's a game where you lost Pinson. It was a game at home. You know how to beat that team. You've done it once. See if you can go on the road and steal one on Saturday. Get to 4-3 in conference. Keep your head above water before you go into a stretch where you're really going to be able to stockpile wins. We'll talk a bit later in the show about about the officiating. We'll go deeper into it. Will Wade blew a gasket last night, obviously, and he did address it in the post game, and so we'll talk about it. Maybe how, what some of the causes of it. How can they fix it to whatever degree they can. I mean, the tease is, when you're as aggressive as LSU is defensively, and you have full court pressure, and you press the basketball, and you reach, and you try to tip and slap and strip the basketball, you're going to hand check, you're going to create a lot of contact, and you're getting whistled for it. So LSU's going to have more fouls than their opponent, just the way that it's going to go this year. But how can you fix the 25-10 disparity? Well, that's what we need to talk about. All right, it's after further review. If you want to join us, you want to react to the game, feel free to jump aboard with us. You can always email us, matt@1045espn.com. You can tweet me at Matt Moscona.
Hey, Twitter world.
Hey, Juice. You can jump at the Bayou Forward YouTube chat and watch 1045 ESPN YouTube channel. Or you can always text us in the 225 at 396-4400, 396-4400, 396-4400. Save that number in your phone, 396-4400. Text me anytime. All right, we'll knock out a quick break, come back, switch gears. I want to talk about Ali Gaye returning to LSU for his senior season. It's a big deal for the Tigers. We'll knock it around next on AFR.
AFR.
Buying or selling a home, you know what to do. Call Darren James and get your home sold. 335-7666, 335-7666, or agent225.com. I know. Your cousin Wendy's a realtor. I know. Your Uncle Scotty, he's a realtor. And probably very good. Darren James on the Wall Street Journal is listed the top 1,000 realtors in America. He sells more homes than anybody. The other part that's really important to remember as well, how awkward will it be at Thanksgiving dinner if you fire cousin Wendy? You don't have to worry about that with Darren James. There's a no-obligation contract with Darren. He has his absolutely no-obligation program. If at any point you're not thrilled with the work he's doing, fire him. Let you out of the contract free and clear, no questions asked. But there's a reason Darren James sells more homes than anyone. Find out. 335-7666.
Think real estate, think Darren James.
Thinking about a new car for the new year? Come to Corval Toyota in Opelousas to pre-order your next vehicle. It's an easy process, and Toyotas are getting to our lot weekly. Make the decision now. Come on down to Corval Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
During these challenging times, we know your healthcare needs don't stop. Cancer, accidents, injuries, and heart disease are relentless. So we are relentlessly innovating to keep you safe, both virtually and in person, connecting you with providers remotely, advancing clinical spaces, providing rapid and accurate testing, social distancing, and certified cleaning protocols. We are Auctioner, and we will not slow down. Auctioner Health, innovating healthcare.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you're born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Go shorty, it's your birthday. We gon' party like it's your birthday. We gon' sip Bacardi like it's your birthday. And you know we don't give up, cause that's your birthday. You'll find me in the club, bottle full of bub.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana, Baton Rouge, Lafayette, and online at theantiagingclinics.com. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
So with the spring semester getting ready to start, remember players that are transferring into LSU and are planning on going through spring football, they have to be enrolled for the start of the semester. So a lot of guys that are transfers have sent in their paperwork. Well, that's a stupid way to say it because you only sign one letter of intent. They've enrolled in school. So these are now official. LSU put this out on their Twitter earlier today. So linebacker West Weeks has made it official. He's in Baton Rouge. Offensive lineman Tremont Shorts from East Tennessee State. He's made it official. He's in Baton Rouge. Makai Gardner, the cornerback from ULL. He's made it official. He's in Baton Rouge. He's going through the spring semester. Kyron Lacey as well, wide receiver from ULL, has also made it official. He's in Baton Rouge here for the start of the semester. Joe Fouché from Arkansas is also here. And there's some other, Greg Brooks, also from Arkansas, is officially part of the LSU football program now. Jay Bramblett, the punter from Notre Dame, Slade Roy, the long snapper from East Carolina. So a lot of the players who have joined LSU as transfers these are guys that you know now will be part of the spring semester. Will go through spring football. So these guys are here and are ready for the start of the semester. I don't have LSU's academic calendar in front of me right now, so forgive me. We could look this. Maybe can you look up, see what the deadline is, because I know there's a deadline to join the semester. But anyway, so this is why you're seeing a lot of these guys, these announcements coming today, because they're transfers that are here on campus for the start of the semester. So LSU can formally announce them now that they have enrolled in school at LSU. There's one other really, really big fish that we're waiting on today to see what's going to happen, but that's Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams, of course, is the quarterback from Oklahoma who entered the transfer portal. You all know the story. Caleb Williams, when he committed to Oklahoma or signed with Oklahoma, LSU was among his finalists then when he was a 5-star. Lincoln Riley leaves OU for USC. A few weeks back, Caleb Williams enters the transfer portal. I mean, I'm an idiot, and I haven't tweeted enjoy California to Caleb Williams. Today, just a bit ago, the USC football Twitter account tweeted the little fight on, the little victory emoji. Many are believing that means Caleb Williams' announcement that he's going to be a member of the Trojan program is coming. I would completely believe that. Oklahoma fans are likely going to be on tilt. Spencer Rattler is now at South Carolina. Caleb Williams is about to be at Southern Cal. Good luck to OU as they rebuild their program as well, but not really. Imagine how difficult it's going to be when you join the SEC and play in a real conference. But keep an eye out. We are waiting on that official announcement today. Perhaps today from Caleb Williams on where he'll be playing his college ball, and it seems as though it's going to be Southern Cal. I don't have any insight. I don't know Caleb Williams. I've never spoken to Caleb Williams. When he signed with Oklahoma over LSU, I unfollowed him on all social media because I really don't care anymore. So we'll see when he makes a formal announcement today. If it happens during the show, we'll let you know. I mean, it's landscape altering. I mean, it's a guy that at OU was going to be a Heisman, front runner to start the season, and at USC very quickly brings Southern Cal back to relevance under Lincoln Riley if they've got that guy under center calling the play. So if it happens today, we'll let you know. All right, it's after further review. I do want to talk about Ali Gaye, who's coming back to LSU. Quick reminder about Relief Windows, reliefwindows.com, 288-8138, 288-8138, or reliefwindows.com. They're just the best, man. Windows, doors, siding, Relief Windows, reliefwindows.com, and they never take $1 from you until you're thrilled with the work that they do. That's Relief Windows. Brandon Holly's as good and ethical a man as I know. He's a great friend. He's a phenomenal operator. There's a reason his business has grown the way it has, because they're the best. They're going to do beautiful work. They're going to install beautiful products at your home, and they're going to treat you right. It's a simple formula that not everybody masters. They have at Relief Windows. 288-8138 or reliefwindows.com. Reliefwindows.com. So, LSU got really good news on Wednesday. Ali Gaye is returning for his senior season. You all know the quick backstory here with Ali Gaye. From the state of Washington, went junior college. He transferred to LSU in 2020, really blew up. The opener against Mississippi State, he was a terror in that game. I remember Ryan Clark on this show said, man, if I was Ali Gaye's dad, I'd have walked out on the field and we were joking, hit the shower, man, you're done. Opting out right now. But Ali Gaye had a monster 2020, decided to return in 2021, and boy, he was really starting to elevate his draft stock. He'd already had 2.5 sacks, 2.5 tackles for loss, 19 tackles. But in all, he ended up playing just 4 games before season-ending injury. So Ali Gaye, Mel Kiper had him earlier among his top 10 defensive end prospects in this draft. He has the injury, and Gaye had a decision to make. Does he go pro in spite of the injury, or does he come back to LSU, try to elevate his draft stock? And clearly he's made that decision here, that Ali Gaye is going to return for his senior season in 2021 in Baton Rouge. So it's massive for the reason that you're talking about an impact player at a premium defensive position. When you've already lost 2 impact players this offseason at premium defensive positions, in Elias Ricks and Dwight McGlothern, and you lost them both to SEC West teams. That sucks. There's no other way to say it. It sucks. You've gotten the great benefit of getting Micah Baskerville back at a position of great need where you were paper thin. And now Ali Gaye is, again, a plus player at a premium position. I think LSU could have found, guys to play defensive end. They could have found a rotation had Ali Gaye decided that he was going to go ahead and go pro. But the biggest benefit of having Ali Gaye back really is depth. Yes, undeniably he's an elite position, elite player at a premium position. But think about what happens if Ali Gaye leaves. Now, I'll give you the example by turning to a different position a different year. Look at what happened to LSU on the offensive line in 2021. Dare Rosenthal transfers to Kentucky. You had Cam Wire ready to go at left tackle. And quite honestly, the skill level drop-off wasn't drastic from Dare Rosenthal to Cam Wire. The problem is when Cam Wire had to step up, you had one body less in depth. So what happened when Cam Wire got hurt? Then you had an issue. You had a revolving door at left tackle. I mean, at one point you're playing Garrett Dellinger, a true freshman, who's probably going to be a right tackle or interior player at left tackle in SEC games. Wasn't a great look. So if Ali Gaye had decided to go pro, you could have made it work. I mean, B.J. Ojolari is still a really elite edge rusher. He was top 10 in the conference this year in sacks. And you could have made it work opposite him with any number of guys. Maybe it's Mason Smith playing defensive end. Maybe it's Quincy Wiggins coming in and giving you really good rotation. Maybe it's a veteran guy like Sony Fanua or Jarrell Cherry giving you a lot of reps over there. Xavier Carter taking a step up. You go into the transfer portal. My point is, you could have made it work. But the most important part about getting Ali Gaye back is depth and a rotation. So when you're playing into the fourth quarter, you're not short on bodies. Now, you can look at your defensive line, and all of a sudden, that looks like a great position of strength for this team. When you look at that defensive line with Gaye and Ojolari as your ends, and if you're playing two interior tackles, and if it's Mason Smith and Jaquelin Roy, well, that's a hell of a front four. And you've got bodies that can rotate behind them, some of the guys we just mentioned, and then also Jacoby and Guillory, and you brought in Makai Wingo as a transfer. You can kick Mason Smith out the end if you need to. You can rattle off 8 or 9 or 10 names to say all of those guys can play for you. So when you need someone to catch a breather for a series, you have fresh legs that can go in that are competent and capable. If you do have a guy turn an ankle, you miss him for a week or whatever, you've got numbers there that can step up and back it up. And oh, by the way, Ali Gaye is also a 6'6", 250-pound freak show that, having played 3 years in the SEC, going to his third year in the SEC, could be a double-digit sack guy for you. I mean, I'll remind you that in 2020, he had 9.5 tackles for loss in that 2020 season that was COVID-wrecked, and that was his first look at SEC play. So defensive line, all of a sudden, I think, has become a real strength. If I had to rank defensively, where the positions of strength, I think defensive tackle, defensive end, 1, 2. I think safety is your next strongest position, especially adding Joe Fouché. And I guess if you count Gregory Brooks as a nickel safety, depending on what Jay Ward happens, I guess your options at Sage Ryan, your options at safety are so good there. Then linebacker, then cornerback. Your linebacker has been eased a bit by getting West Weeks and by getting Micah Baskerville returning for his senior season. You're better there now. You're still thin. You don't have great depth, but at least you have enough numbers there to start really when you're too deep. And then corner is still the problem. We'll talk about that coming up in a little bit, but corner is still your problem because you need numbers and you need starting caliber players there. But a big get for Ali Gaye, a potentially dominant player at a position of great need. And I would argue that LSU will have the second best pass rushing tandem in the SEC for this coming year, for 2022. Bama's got Will Anderson and Dallas Turner both back. And both those guys were in the top 10 in the conference this past year. And there's other spots, other guys in the league that are returning that were among the top 10. Like, if you look at the top 10 sack leaders from this year, Will Anderson led the league with 18 sacks. He's back. Sam Williams from Ole Miss was second with 13. He's gone. Phil Mathis from Bama had 9. He's gone. Derek Hall from Auburn. Tyree Johnson gone. Brenton Cox is the next lead from Florida, is the next leading returner. He had 9 sacks. DeMarvin Leal had 9. He's gone. I mentioned Dallas Turner had 9. He's back. Zachary Carter from Florida, he had 8. He's going pro. So, point being, after Anderson and Turner, Ali Gaye, B.J. Ojulari is probably the second best edge rushing tandem in the SEC going into 2022, which is exciting if you're Matt House and you have that to work with as you get started here. That core to work with. Your defensive line is really solidified here in the past few days. So great news with Ali Gaye returning for the 2022 season. All right, if you want to join us, you feel free to jump aboard. You know how to do it. We are, by the way, we may, well, let me check this. I actually got a text right now. Okay, cool. We are going to talk to Makai Wingo. I was texting with him during the break. Makai Wingo is going to join us in 29 minutes from right now. Missouri defensive line transfer into LSU. Makai Wingo is going to join us again in 29 minutes, so we're looking forward to that. We'll ask him about his decision to pick LSU, why he picked LSU, what his role is going to be, all that stuff. So Makai Wingo, just confirmed, 29 minutes from right now. All right, it's after further review. We'll go around the SEC next. Stick around.
AFR.
And I love telling you about Pinnacle Exterior Construction, PECbuilt.com. If you want to take your outdoor space and turn it into a showplace, Pinnacle can help. And actually, if you pay attention, you'll notice a lot of Pinnacle green signs all over town. As a matter of fact, coming out of my neighborhood across the street, there was a house on that main highway right there. Big Pinnacle Exterior Construction sign in the front. They just built a custom pool at their house. We built an outdoor kitchen this summer. Pinnacle did the honors. PECbuilt.com if you want to see pictures of their work. If you want to learn more about what they do, if it's custom pools, outdoor kitchens, fences, decks, bulkheads, pergolas, they can do all that for you. And really, the options are limitless. Go talk to their landscape architect. Talk to someone on their staff that can give you that consultation, look at your outdoor place, brainstorm, put the plans together. Boom, they'll get you on the schedule. By the time the weather's nice, you'll be swimming. It's Pinnacle Exterior Construction. Online, PECbuilt.com.
Our topic today is about savings. What is savings?
Hancock Whitney isn't just a bank for our clients. We're investing in our hometowns, making life better for everyone. So keep dreaming. We've got your back.
Bayou Ford has 0.9% for 60 months on new Ford F-150 plus $1,000 bonus cash. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile warranty. And right now, get $1,000 bonus cash plus 0.9% APR for 60 months on new 2021 Ford F-150. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
To the heroes who are working tirelessly to care for our communities, we thank you. We will never forget the countless hours you dedicated on the front lines, choosing to risk your own health to fight for our friends, neighbors, and family members.
I mean, you guys are out on the front lines fighting it.
We are grateful for your heroic acts and unwavering spirit. Together, we are overcoming this adversity and make our state healthier and more vibrant again. Ochsner Health.
To pack up all my things. I had to leave my home. And I never knew where I was going next. It felt like I never even had a say. But then you came along.
Change a child's story. There's a child in foster care waiting for a volunteer like you.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All Star Toyota today.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
I tried to show 'em. Yeah. Gone on you with the pick and roll. Younger flame, he in sicko mode.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana, Baton Rouge, Lafayette, and online at theantiagingclinics.com. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
It's a sprained ankle. It doesn't appear to be too bad right now, but we'll know more when we get back. I don't know. It doesn't appear to be terrible, but we'll know more when we get back.
There's Will Wade talking about Darius Days, who went down last night with a sprained ankle. Unfortunately, the good news, as you heard Coach Wade say there, doesn't appear to be too bad. The other unfortunate part about last night, aside from just the loss for LSU, is that apparently they had plane trouble, and so they just went straight from Tuscaloosa to Knoxville. They did not come home. So they stayed in Tuscaloosa and then flew straight from Tuscaloosa to Knoxville, where they'll stay until the game on Saturday against the Vols, which makes a lot of sense, right? If you couldn't get back last night, why would you fly home today only to turn around tomorrow and fly out again? Had they been able to get home last night after the game, of course, you get 2 nights in your own bed. But anyway, so we'll see if Darius Day is available. We'll look for an update on Xavier Pinson as well. Certainly Will Wade will have media availability Friday in advance of the game on Saturday. But we'll look for those updates. It would be obviously tremendous help if you're trying to go win a road game in the conference if you have your 2 most veteran, most experienced SEC players. But that remains to be seen at this point for LSU right now. One thing you do love, look, Tari Eason filled up the stat sheet last night, as he has much of this season. I'd love Tari's comment after the game where he talked about this team's resilience. Give a listen.
There's no such thing as moral victories. I don't like losing. Nobody on the team likes losing. So we're not happy by any means necessary, regardless of if we could have tied the game up, we didn't. So, ultimately we lost. But what I do love about this team is our resilience. The fact that, we came together, and we could have easily went the other way when we went down 13, the technical foul, but instead we decided to come together. So, I love that about this group. I love our resilience. I love our toughness. And once we get some other things, cleaned up, we have all our guys, we're going to be a machine.
We're going to be a machine. I believe him. You're going to get healthy. You're going to get 2 veteran players back. I think you're going to continue to see guys like Efton Reed improve as they go through the meat of an SEC schedule. You're going to see the schedule lighten up. Yes, I agree. LSU is going to go on a run and string together a long winning streak here shortly. You got to get past this game against Tennessee on Saturday and hopefully win it to start a new streak. All right, it's After Further Review. We're brought to you by South Point Volkswagen, southpointvw.com, new and certified pre-owned in Baton Rouge and online at southpointvw.com, southpointvw.com. Go test drive one of their 9 different IIHS top safety picks. That is the highest safety designation a vehicle can earn from the U.S. government. Trust me, I know firsthand. Was rear-ended on the bridge a few weeks back. You'll know that by now. His truck was totaled. My Atlas did A-OK. The peace of mind of driving one of the safest vehicles on the road that are really fun to drive as well. South Point Volkswagen, Louisiana's largest volume Volkswagen dealer. South Point Volkswagen. What's your direction? All right, it's After Further Review. Let me Makai Wingo is going to come on in 21 minutes. Looking forward to that. Scott Kushner, a little less than an hour from right now. We'll talk Pels. Will Zion ever play for the Pels again? Mike Triplett in hour 3 today. We got a ton to do. Glad you're with us. Right now, let's go around the SEC.
Around the SEC, presented by Gulf Coast Office Products, excellence in imaging solutions. The Arkansas Razorbacks.
Kendall Briles has reached a new deal to remain there in Fayetteville as the Arkansas offensive coordinator. He was pursued by Mario Cristobal for the same job at Miami. So he's been there with Sam Pittman the last 2 years. Hogs led the SEC in rushing last season, won 9 games. Briles also gets another season with quarterback KJ Jefferson. Of course, Briles' previous OC stops at Baylor, Florida Atlantic, Houston, and Florida State.
The Georgia Bulldogs.
Big get for Kirby Smart. Stetson Bennett says he will return to Georgia for one final season. JT Daniels, meanwhile, will not. Daniels officially entering the transfer portal, as did receiver Jermaine Burton, who was, by the way, a one-time LSU commit, a name worth watching. Bennett, as you know, replaced Daniels as the Bulldogs starter in early October and led the Dogs their first national championship in more than 40 years. Along with Bennett, Georgia will have Brock Vandergriff, Carson Beck, and then signee Gunnar Stockton.
The Tennessee Volunteers.
And Tennessee has lost a transfer. Texas has flipped wide receiver Isaiah Nair. He's an all-Mountain West performer at Wyoming who had committed to play for Josh Heupel at Tennessee, but he tweeted on Thursday that he is signing instead with Texas. Led Wyoming in receptions, receiving yards, led the conference in receiving touchdowns. But Texas building up a pretty nice transfer class with Quinn Ewers, the quarterback from Ohio State, and tight end Jaleel Billingsley from Alabama. On the hardwood, you know, LSU was a tough luck loser in Tuscaloosa. Also in the state of Alabama, Auburn had absolutely no problem with Georgia. The second-ranked team in the country blasted the worst team in the SEC, 83-60. Walker Kessler, another nice night, 15 points, 6 boards, and an assist. Kentucky went on the road and beat Texas A&M, handing the Aggies their first conference loss, 64-58. Oscar Tshiebwe was awesome again with 14 rebounds. They'll go along with 8 points and 1 assist. And down in Gainesville, Mike White's team held serve at home. Florida beats Mississippi State 80-72. It was Anthony DeRuggi leading the way for the Gators with 22 points, 3 boards, and an assist. There you have it. That is Around the SEC, presented by Gulf Coast Office Products. Shout out to our guy Trey Beal and our friends at Gulf Coast Office Products, online at gcopnet.com. If you need office equipment, they are the official office equipment provider of the New Orleans Saints, the New Orleans Pelicans, of the LSU Tigers, and, of course, I've been telling you about this for weeks. Awesome thing that they're doing. Gulf Coast Office Products, as the official office equipment provider of the Pelicans, they get floor seats. And they offered up, Trey Beal offered up, their pair of floor seats for 4 games and said, hey, look, raffle these off and let's give the money to charity. We've already raffled off 3 pair. There's 1 game to go. It's February the 8th against Houston. So we're a few weeks away. We'll draw for the winner on February the 7th, the day before the game. So go to 1045ESPN.com. You see Courtside for Charity right there on the flipper on the homepage. It's $20 a chance, or you can get 6 for $100 or 15 for $250. All the money we raise is going to go to, it'll be split evenly among 4 great local charities. They are St. Lillian Academy in Baton Rouge, which is a special needs school where my son attends, of the Arc of Baton Rouge, the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, and Alzheimer's Services of the capital area. So do us a favor. Go buy a ticket. If nothing else, you're contributing money to great local charities. Who knows? Maybe you're going to win floor seats to an NBA game. 1045ESPN.com. It's Courtside for Charity, courtesy of our friends at Gulf Coast Office Products. All right, it's After Further Review, brought to you by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana, title sponsor of our Thursday shows. We'll knock out a quick break. Let's wrap up hour number 1 when we come back, and we'll get to Makai Wingo here in about 17 minutes from right now, LSU defensive line commitment. Stick here. It's AFR.
AFR.
All right, there's no excuse today. It's 3:44 in the afternoon. You got an hour and 16 minutes before Insurance Network of Louisiana closes. Maybe you're at work right now, but you're leaving in a few minutes. Fine. Call this number right now, or save it in your phone, or write it down on a sticky note so you can call as soon as you get in the car. 293-0450. 293-0450. 293-0450. That's Insurance Network of Louisiana. Y'all, the process is easy. Please don't be intimidated. And if you think there's a catch, there isn't. I'm telling you as candidly as I can tell you. You call Insurance Network of Louisiana. You tell them about your current insurance rates and your coverage. Then they go shop. It's this simple. They do it for free to see if they can get you better coverage for less money. If they can, great, switch. If not, stick with what you got. Wouldn't you stand to save on your insurance and get properly insured? Stop overpaying to be underinsured. Call right now, 293-0450.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Le posso offrire un caffè? Le posso offrire un caffè? Andiamo insieme da me, non c'è.
Call Mr. Electric today for electrical repairs, upgrades, and installations.
Bayou Ford has 0.9% for 60 months on new Ford F-150 plus $1,000 bonus cash. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile warranty. And right now, get $1,000 bonus cash plus 0.9% APR for 60 months on new 2021 Ford F-150. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Kushner.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Yo, Jake here from Patient Plus Urgent Care Clinic, reminding you they now have 8 convenient locations across the Baton Rouge area, open from 9 a.m. until 9 p.m. And if you're looking for that COVID test for holiday travel, or you have a holiday event coming up, they're the place for you, as well as a flu shot. It's starting to creep up here during flu season, so if you need that shot, make sure you get that. They now have some available through December. You can find more information on their website, patientplusuc.com. That's Patient Plus Urgent Care.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana, Baton Rouge, Lafayette, and online at theantiagingclinics.com. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Hey, remember, you can always text the show, 225-396-4400, 396-4400. Lance LeBlanc said, hey, Matt, I have a question. With the new NIL deals, the amount of players that a teams can sign doesn't matter. Couldn't they sign a guy as a walk-on, but Gordon or someone pay their tuition and it not go against our allotment of scholarships? So, in theory, yes. You could structure a deal that way. But in reality, that's not going to happen. I'll tell you why. Number one, if you're the student athlete receiving an NIL deal, that is taxable income, number one. So, I mean, a lot of these kids are going to learn a lot about the federal government and paying income tax with all this. So you'd be paying income tax on a college scholarship, which over 4 years, depending on where you're playing collegiately. I mean, if it's LSU, I don't know what out-of-state tuition is at LSU these days. What is it, 18, 20,000, maybe more than that? So you're talking about in the neighborhood of 80, 100 grand maybe over the life of 4 years. You're going to pay a lot of income tax on that. And number two, if I'm 18 years old and I'm getting an NIL deal, I don't want it to pay for my scholarship. I want the money in my pocket. I want to be able to go to Fred's and make it rain. Right? I want to go be the man at Reggie's. I'm not taking an NIL deal to pay for my books. You kidding me? Who's got time for books? I'm going to buy a Trans Am or a Corvette. Do they make Trans Ams anymore? I don't really.
I don't know. I don't
Yeah.
think they'd be going for
I kind
a
of
Trans
exposed
Am.
myself right there. I'm not a car guy. I don't know cars. It's not my thing.
Corvette, maybe. Yeah, that
yes, they
seems
make
like something
Corvette,
young
yeah.
people would like.
I drive Volkswagen. I love it, by the way. It's magnificent. I just need a car that get me from point A to point B that's safe and is fun to drive. That's all I need. What's the thing that Stingley got? That
I don't
thing.
remember.
The sporty thing that's like a $100,000 car.
Oh yeah. I mean, Kayshawn got an NIL deal and has a Hellcat, so I mean they could do that.
I don't know what that is.
That's a Dodge, I think.
You're a Dodge. That's what you are.
No.
That's what you are. Anyway, point being, no kid is taking an NIL deal to pay for his school. He's going to say, no, give me a scholarship. Give me a scholarship, and then let me take my NIL money. I'm not going on dates to Applebee's. I'm going on dates to Ruth's Chris. I'm taking Boo to Rufino's, right?
Of course, yeah.
I mean, what are you talking about? It sounds great and logical to a fan. To the 18-year-old who's getting the NIL deal, you're like, bleep you, man. I'm not giving them my money for tuition.
You just always think about what you would want to do with your money. It's kind of the same thing for them.
Kind of. Especially when you're 18.
Right.
Good question, Lance. I'm hopeful that answered it for a lot of people listening right now. No, you're not giving up NIL money for tuition. No. All right. It's after further review. By the way, of course, you all know Hudco Roofing, HudcoRoofing.com. I'm excited. I think we're going to be able to announce Hudco entering the NIL game here pretty soon. And I think you're going to like it. Hudco Roofing, HudcoRoofing.com. I tell you all the time, do business with someone you know. That's us at Hudco Roofing. One of the things that I'll tell you of which we are most proud is being a Louisiana company. Born in Louisiana, and not only that, all of our ownership is Louisiana workers, but also we use Louisiana products. The shingles that we use at Hudco are CertainTeed shingles. They're manufactured at the CertainTeed plant in Shreveport, Louisiana. So we're a Louisiana-born company with Louisiana ownership, Louisiana workers, and we use Louisiana shingles. So when you call Hudco, you're supporting Louisiana. Give us a buzz, or you can always go to HudcoRoofing.com, HudcoRoofing.com, 364-1007, roof repairs, roof replacements. Maybe you've been waiting on that replacement since Ida. If you've had trouble negotiating with the adjuster, let us handle that for you. We can work with the insurance company to get your claim approved. Even if you've been denied prior, let us take a shot at it. HudcoRoofing.com. Do business with someone you know. Hudco Roofing and HudcoRoofing.com. This was a pretty cool story. If you missed it, this young guy by the name of Alex Brown, and during the high school football playoffs in New Jersey, he tweeted after he scored 8 touchdowns in a playoff game in November, one day after his mom died from breast cancer complications. Well, after this, it got a lot of publicity. I mean, 8 touchdowns in a playoff game is amazing, and for it to have happened the day after losing his mother was remarkable. And Daniel Jones, the quarterback for the New York Giants, noticed it and decided he was going to do something nice for Alex Brown. Give a listen.
What's up, Danny Dimes? What's up? Yo. What's up, homie? Oh my God. What the hell? That's insane.
Let's go!
So if you didn't hear it, Daniel Jones FaceTimed Alex Brown to let him know, from the Giants locker room, to let him know that he was giving Brown 3 tickets to the Super Bowl in LA this year. So young guy facing an impossible situation, losing a parent, having the game of his life the day after his mother died, and a really, really awesome thing for Daniel Jones to step up and do for him. So congrats to Alex Brown, and attaboy to Daniel Jones. A job well done on a cool thing for a young guy. All right, it's After Further Review. We're brought to you by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana. We will knock out a quick break. When we come back, LSU defensive line commitment from Missouri, Makai Wingo. He's next.
AFR.
AFR is brought to you by DraftKings, and I couldn't be more fired up to tell you about DraftKings because, y'all, it is coming. Seemingly any day now, the DraftKings Sportsbook will be live. Mobile betting will be live in Louisiana, and our friends at DraftKings are giving you $100 in free bets just for signing up before they go live in Louisiana. This could not be easier. This isn't a deposit match. This is just, here's $100 to wager with when we go live. Thanks for signing up early. So go to the app, go to your app store, download the DraftKings Sportsbook app, sign up and use the code Baton Rouge. Again, download the DraftKings Sportsbook app, sign up, use the code Baton Rouge, and get $100 in free bets if you sign up before they go live. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-770-STOP. 21 and older. Louisiana only. Availability varies by parish.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
Thinking about a new car for the new year? Come on down to Corvell Toyota in Opelousas, where you never pay over MSRP. There's no markups, no games. You can reserve yours today. Make the decision now. Come on down to Corvell Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Talk with Mike.
This is SportsCenter.
Good afternoon. I'm Steve Lennox. Right now, the Chicago Bulls percentage points ahead of the Miami Heat for the top spot in the Eastern Conference. Bulls are going forward without Lonzo Ball, expected to miss 6 to 8 weeks. Ball will have surgery in the coming days on a torn meniscus in his left knee. Lakers now a game under 500 after Wednesday's home loss against the Indiana Pacers. Lakers open up a 6-game road trip in Orlando on Friday night. Jay Williams today on Keyshawn, Jay Will, and Max on the LA issues.
You know, this is a personnel issue. I don't think this is a Frank Vogel issue. When they won a championship, they had one of the top-ranked defensive teams in the league, guys. They had personnel that fit the scheme that Frank Vogel wanted to play, Key. Now you insert a lot of older age pieces that don't have a defensively minded, sound, way of playing, and they play a different style of basketball. That's why they rank 27th in points allowed per game. It's not who they are.
And Russell Westbrook did not play the final 352 of that loss Wednesday night against Indiana. Tampa Bay Rays plan to play future home games in Florida and Montreal nixed by Major League Baseball.
When you're trying to find quality candidates, all the searching, screening, and interviewing can become a job itself. You need Indeed, the all-in-one platform that makes it easy to interview, screen, and hire quality people. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios. That's right.
Hour 2 off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR, presented by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana. I'm Matt.
I appreciate it, bud. Have a good one.
Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
Yusuf. And Mr. Toby Tomplay. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there, make it a good one. Brian Kelly has been busy in the transfer portal. 11 commitments already. Several of those on campus now for the start of the semester. And one of those who will be joining as well is Missouri transfer defensive lineman Makai Wingo, who's good enough to join us for a couple of minutes here. Hey, man, thanks for the time. We appreciate it. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing really well. We appreciate you for jumping aboard. So you commit to LSU. This might sound like a dumb question, but how was the visit? I would assume it went well if it netted a commitment.
I mean, yeah, the visit was amazing. You know what I'm saying? It's definitely got some of the best facilities I've ever seen. Just the coaches, you can tell they were real genuine. And I just had an overall great time in Baton Rouge.
I mean, you had a whirlwind, right? You went from Baton Rouge to Norman to Los Angeles, right?
Yes, sir.
Man, all right, so hit the high points of that trip and what it was like in a matter of maybe 5 days. You went from like Wednesday to Sunday, in like 5 days, what it was like to take in 3 giant programs in such a short amount of time.
I mean, honestly, it was tiring.
I believe it, man.
And every trip, all they want to do is stuff your face and feed you food every second. And so, man, that was kind of tough, just not being able to work out like I usually do and do all the things. But it was kind of cool to get LSU, you know what I'm saying, it's the first visit because they got all the energy they needed from me and things like that, you know. So that it was good that I went there first. That was probably the most enjoyable visit to me.
Who had the best food?
It's between USC has some good food. We went to Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles, so that was pretty good. But it ain't beating that LSU food. It's not beating it.
I mean, when you come back in the spring, you're going to get crawfish. Have you ever had crawfish before?
Yes, I have. I'm not the biggest fan of crawfish, though.
We'll fix that. Don't worry about it. We'll fix that. We got plenty of time for that. Makai Wingo is our guest. You'll follow him on Twitter at Wingo Makai. All right, so let's talk a little bit about your visit and some of the impressions. And I want to talk about Robert Steeples in a second because I think we know that connection. But
Right.
You got to meet Brian Kelly, I would assume. How did that visit go?
Oh, yeah, Coach Kelly, he was just a cool dude, you know what I'm saying? He was real cool, real chill, laid back, you know what I'm saying? And he talked about, you know what I'm saying, all the things we needed to talk about just clearly with football and stuff like that and how he would see me coming in on the team. So, you know what I'm saying, that was cool.
Did you dance with him like Walker Howard did?
Oh, no, I didn't dance with him.
Hey, man, let me ask you as a recruiter, because, I mean, the media has a perception that, the fans have a perception of that. What did you think when you saw the video of Walker Howard and Brian Kelly dancing?
I mean, I didn't have a problem with it. It was cool when you an actual head coach being that interactive with the recruits. You can tell he really want them.
Man, look, I appreciate you saying that because it's I can say that, but it's so much more impactful when it comes from a guy who's being recruited that it makes more sense when you get the perspective of a recruit. So I appreciate you saying that. What about defensive line coach Jamar Cain? That's a guy that he's brand new here. A lot of us here are getting to know. So tell us what you learned about him.
Oh, you know what I'm saying? Coach Cain, he's really knowledgeable when it comes to the game of football. And actually, I had a pre-existing relationship with him. He recruited me in high school when he was at Arizona State. So I kind of knew him a little bit. Yeah, he's a cool guy, real laid back. You know what I'm saying? He just knows what he's talking about.
So how different – look, because it was just a year ago you were going through this process as a freshman. Or you're coming as an incoming freshman. So how different or was it different going through the process as a high school player and as a transfer?
I mean, well, you know, my senior year, I mean, that's when COVID hit. So I never really got to take any official visits.
Wow.
So this was my first time doing that. But this time, you know what I'm saying, it was really – I wasn't really into all of the cute stuff anymore. I just needed to get there. Let's talk business. Let's talk ball. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is really a business decision this time. So all the fancy stuff and taking pictures, I mean, that was fun and all, but I was liking when it was time to sit down and actually watch tape with the coaches and things like that.
Okay, let's talk ball. I love that. So when I look and some of your highlights, and I look at 6'1", 280, is that about where you're weighing right now, 280-ish?
Yeah.
So where do you factor in on this LSU defensive line?
I think just, you know what I'm saying, being having that pass rush presence in the middle, you know what I'm saying, putting pressure on the quarterback, and obviously being strong enough to be effective in the run game, you know what I'm saying, just being the extra force in the middle for him.
Are you a 3-down lineman?
Absolutely.
Okay. So did they talk to you about coming in as a starter, as a part of the rotation on the interior? How did they talk about using you?
You know what I'm saying? They got to learn every single player. You know what I'm saying? It's a new coaching staff, and you don't want nothing promised to you. So spring ball, I'm going to get a chance just like everybody else to work and earn a starting spot.
So you said spring ball. So when are you going to get to campus?
Within the next few days.
Okay. So I know the last day to enroll in the semester, I believe, is a week from today, the 27th. So you will be going through spring. So what else? So when you looked at film with the coaches, did you watch your film or did you watch maybe, I don't know, would you watch Notre Dame film? Would you watch Kansas City Chiefs film? Like, what did you watch?
Me and Coach Cain sat down. We watched a little bit of my film, and then we watched a little bit of his film at Oklahoma, with how he coached the guys and the different techniques he teach. So he was learning me, and I was learning him.
What stood out to you?
Just him letting his D lineman get vertical, you know what I'm saying, and just disrupt stuff in the backfield. You know what I'm saying? They got the technique, but he letting them get off the ball and hit somebody in the mouth for real.
You're a pass rusher.
Yes, sir.
You're an interior pass rusher. There's no doubt. Hey, man, you had a pick six as well, man. What did it feel like rumbling for a score? By the way, it's from about 40 yards out, man. That wasn't a cheap one either.
Man, honestly, I was tired when the whole thing started rushing and stuff. I'm just like, man, back up. I'm trying to go to the bench. I was tired.
That's good, man. Makai Wingo is our guest, Missouri transfer defensive lineman. I hope he'll be here in a couple of days, part of this LSU transfer class. All right, I want to ask you about Robert Steeples. Again, you got to keep in mind, Makai, like, this is all new for us too, man. There's a whole new coaching staff, so we're learning these guys who've only been here. So, I mean, you know way more about him than we do. For those that don't know, Makai played for Robert Steeples in high school. First of all, How about his sort of meteoric rise from high school to the NFL and now here at LSU? What is it about him that's so impressive?
Man, he's just a man of character, you know what I'm saying? He's also a great coach, but he knows how to motivate a group of young guys. That's his biggest thing, and he knows how to get through to us and display his message to us, and it's easy for us to pick up on what he wants us to do. So that was the biggest takeaway I got from him in high school, and he just works harder. Like, I've never seen anyone work as hard as him. So when he got the opportunity to coach in the NFL, it wasn't surprising to me at all.
So he was on campus for your visit, yeah?
Yep.
So how much of an influence was that? I mean, that your high school coach is here to make that more comfortable for you to make this decision?
I mean, it's definitely cool having family down there, but honestly, he didn't really try to recruit me at all. He was just educating me on the things, you know what I'm saying, the defense that's going to be ran and stuff like that. Like, he, you know what I'm saying, I've been knowing him for too long, so he wasn't really the recruiter type with me. He was honestly on his visit with me. It was his first time being on campus.
That's so crazy. But you see my point, though, man. It's like, it's so new for everybody here right now as we're all kind of figuring it out together. So you didn't obviously get to meet Matt House, the defensive coordinator. Have you spoken to him?
No, I haven't spoken with him yet, but I've been communicating with him through Coach Kane and Coach Kelly.
Okay. So did they give you a sense of stylistically what he wants to do? I'm sure they did. You said y'all talked a bunch of ball.
Yeah, his plan is to run a multiple front defense, but coming out with a base 4-man front, switching to a 3-man front and things like that.
Hear you, man. So what are you going to study at LSU?
Communications.
Oh, nice. Well, you're talking to a MassCom alum here, major, so if you ever need an internship, holler. Happy to have you up here to the studio. All right, the most important question then, what did you eat? If like it was between LSU and the chicken and waffles at Southern Cal and you don't like crawfish, what did they feed you?
I mean, LSU, I had some catfish, some fried chicken, cornbread, had some green beans. I had this little Cajun pasta. It was good.
Like pastelaya?
I don't even know what it was. It was just like, I don't know, man. It was good, though.
Good. Well, did you get any blackened alligator?
I did taste some alligator, and it was good.
See? All right, man. We're checking boxes, but we're going to get you on some crawfish in the spring, all right? That's got to happen. And I know it's a lot of work, but, man, bull crawfish, there's nothing quite like it. So we'll make sure that happens in the spring at some point. Hey, safe travels down here. I would assume you're home right now. Thanks for a couple of minutes, and good luck this year, man. We'll be in touch, all right?
Yep, thank you. I appreciate you for having me on.
That's our pleasure. That's Makai Wingo, LSU defensive line transfer. Y'all go follow him on Twitter. He's at Wingo Makai, WingoMekhi, at Wingo Makai. Give him a follow and shout him out, man. Like, seriously, it matters to those guys when fans follow them on social media and like thank them for coming on the air and stuff like that. That's how more are willing to do it. So if you like hearing from those guys, go show them some love on social media. Go follow them on Twitter. Go follow them on Instagram. Thank them for coming on the show. Tell them you're excited to have them here. I mean, think about it from this standpoint. When you're 19, 20 years old, you're a young guy. You were close to home. Now you're going someplace completely different. It's so new. It's happening very quickly. You're at a spot where you thought you were going to be 3-4 years, and just like that, you're moving. Now you're in a different part of the country, and it matters. So, embrace those guys, man. You can tell it helps having Robert Steeples here, but that's a guy you could tell he is. I mean, you heard what he said. I wasn't into all the cute stuff and taking pictures and wearing the jersey. Like, that was fun before, but like, we were talking ball, and that's what I need to know. He's a driven dude, and I'll tell you the most impressive thing. You can tell he's a guy that at 6'1", 280 wants to get in the middle like a little bowling ball, push the pocket, and wreak havoc in the backfield. And LSU's going to need some of that. You're going to have some edge rushers, but you've got to be able to get pressure from the middle. I mean, start talking about Jaquelin Roy, Mason Smith, who certainly filled that role this year. Now you had a guy like Makai Wingo who's got SEC experience. Good stuff, man. We appreciate him for joining us. All right, it's after further review. Knock out a quick break. We'll come back. Have you seen what the Tennessee Titans are doing to try to keep Bengals fans out of Nissan Stadium on Saturday? I'll tell you next. It's AFR.
AFR.
Speaking of the NFL playoffs, if you need a place to watch, no better place than Pluckers, Nicholson, just south of campus. Bluebonnet right in front of the Mall of Louisiana. Dine-in, carry-out, or delivery tonight every Thursday. Of course, it's all-you-can-eat Buffalo Bites. So there's the boneless Buffalo Bites, breaded, fried, tossed in your favorite wing sauce. You can always enjoy it at Pluckers, Nicholson, or Bluebonnet. Dine in or carry out. Look, Saturday, I want to remind y'all, tonight's a great night. You got the Pelicans against the Knicks tonight. You got college basketball. It's always a great night to get by Pluckers. All you can eat Buffalo Bites. Saturday, of course, you got LSU, Tennessee, and hoops at 5 o'clock. But you've also got the NFL games on Saturday. So you got Joey B and the Bengals going to Nashville for a 3:30 kickoff. They get there for lunch, hang out, watch the beginning of the Bengals-Titans, stay for the LSU basketball game. The nightcap is the Niners at the Packers at Lambeau. They make a full day of it Saturday and Sunday at Pluckers. Nicholson, just south of campus. Bluebonnet, right in front of the Mall of Louisiana. Dine in or carry out. Pluckers. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
Bayou Ford has 0.9% for 60 months on new Ford F-150 plus $1,000 bonus cash. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile warranty. And right now, get $1,000 bonus cash plus 0.9% APR for 60 months on new 2021 Ford F-150. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
During these challenging times, we know your healthcare needs don't stop. Cancer, accidents, injuries, and heart disease are relentless. So we are relentlessly innovating to keep you safe, both virtually and in person. Connecting you with providers remotely, advancing clinical spaces, providing rapid and accurate testing, social distancing, and certified cleaning protocols. We are Auctioner, and we will not slow down. Auctioner Health, innovating healthcare.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you're born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
I had to pack up all my things. I had to leave my home. And I never knew where I was going next. It felt like I never even had a say. But then you came along.
Change a child's story. There's a child in foster care waiting for a volunteer like you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to
the NFL playoffs this weekend. I mentioned this. So did Muse, did you see this, what the Titans are doing?
I did not.
Okay, so Nashville and Cincinnati are about 4 hours apart. It's about a 4-hour drive. So pretty easy trip. I mean, it's comparable to Houston, really. I mean, it's from Baton Rouge. It's really could be a day trip. Mm-hmm. You could leave in the morning and be there. The game's at 3:30. So you could leave in the morning and be there for kickoff easily. Well, the Titans are trying to keep Bengals fans out. Bengals fans are fired up, naturally.
Should be.
Haven't won a playoff game in 31 years. They win. Now they're on the road here. Joey B, everybody's fired up, and they got a legit shot of winning. Yeah. What's the line in it?
3.5 favored Titans.
Okay, so Titans 3.5. I mean, the Bengals can win that game. They can win that game. All right. The Titans have changed their ticket transfer policy. This is Brooke Ellenberger, the vice president of ticketing for the Titans. She said, quote, we want Nissan Stadium to be two-tone blue, Titans colors. And so by limiting the transfer window, it limits the number of visiting fans it will have in the stadium. By limiting the transfer time would limit some of the resale and some of the transfer activity that would happen in advance. Under their new rules, they're only allowing tickets to be transferred to someone else inside of 24 hours from kickoff. So, like, you can't buy a ticket right now for the game. You'll have to wait until 24 hours to kickoff to buy your ticket. So they're hoping that people won't come because they won't know if they'll have a ticket. I'm here to tell you the beneficiary, by the way, Bengals fans are still going to go. The beneficiary is going to be bars. Because if Bengals fans are still going to make the drive, they're still going to go. And if they can't get in the stadium, they're still going to be there.
It's Nashville.
It's 4 hours.
It's Nashville.
It's Nashville. It's 4 hours away. Make the drive in the morning. If you get the ticket that day, great. If you don't, no biggie. Even still, 24 hours. So Friday at 3:30, go on apps and go on the transfer, the secondary market, see if you can buy.
So wait, that was going to be my question. Is it just the transfer from people to people, or that includes the secondary market?
But the secondary market is still a ticket transfer. Right? You're just transferring a ticket. So, I mean, right now, this isn't the official. The NFL's official ticketing policy is StubHub. I'm pretty sure it's
StubHub. Okay, I was gonna say, was it SeatGeek?
From ESPN, it clicked through to Vivid Seats. But either way, there's still hundreds of tickets available.
Of course there are.
I mean,
secondary market's gonna find a way, man.
But even if you couldn't transfer to within 24 hours of the game, I mean, there's still going to be a buttload of Bengals fans. I mean, who've waited for this opportunity for so long, and I mean, they're going to go. Can you imagine if they win that game, and then they're in the AFC Championship game? I'm trying to see what AFC Championship game I would want to see most. I'd be super conflicted if we ended up with Bengals and Chiefs. It's just the LSU connection. I mean, people here are cheering for the Bengals because of the LSU guys. Same thing with the Chiefs. I mean, I don't think people care about the Chiefs, but it's Darrell Williams and Clyde and Tyrann Mathieu, and you got a lot of LSU guys there. So my guess is people would side with Joey B.
Of course.
It'd be a little overwhelming. So something to keep an eye on. Titans are doing their best to keep people out. I don't think they're going to be super successful in doing so, but something worth watching Saturday at 3 o'clock when they tee it up, kick it off there in Nissan Stadium in Nashville. All right, it's After Further Review. We're brought to you by GMFS Mortgage, gmfsmortgage.com. Changing lives since 1999. Home buy, refi, construction loan. Saw my guy Ryan LaRussa earlier today from GMFS Mortgage. I mean, Ryan and Stephanie Chenevert and Doug Bickley. I'm naming names I could name forever, but there's so many amazing loan officers at GMFS Mortgage. Aaron Taravella, old Brian Sparacino. I mean, just go to the website. Find the GMFS office nearest you, the local loan officer nearest you. You can't go wrong. They're going to do great by you. Refinance your mortgage, save money on your monthly mortgage payment, skip a payment or two, shorten the life of your mortgage. Incredible options to change your life financially, and GMFS Mortgage will walk you through it. GMFSmortgage.com, GMFS Mortgage, changing lives. Hey, one other thing I wanted to get to. I told you we had to have a little bit of a quicker segment here because we want to get to Scott Kushner on time. And by the way, about 35 minutes from right now, top of next hour, we've talked a lot about how LSU needs to tap into the transfer market for cornerbacks. They are now targeting a cornerback, a guy from Louisiana who's been playing Power 5 football, a 4-year starter, and LSU is after him now. We'll talk about him coming up here in about 35 minutes, straight up 5 o'clock Central. one of the things that we talked about after Antonio Brown lost his mind and he took off his jersey and went into the locker room in the game against New York was, we talked about it here, was Antonio Brown and his mental health. The Bucs have talked about it. Tom Brady suggested it as well. And Antonio Brown went on the I Am Athlete podcast and did discuss this specifically. Here's what he said.
Everyone in the world got different form of reactions of what happened to him. And it's all based upon where you from, how you feel, and no one only gonna know that regards of who you is.
And this is
the thing with football players, mental health and CTE is this. These guys are willing to do whatever it takes to make some obligated gain. But they're in the midst of those gains, along that journey, they're being mistreated. It's a lot of
facts,
stuff that went on that may not have been handled right. And then you starting your career on the high. It's like a roller coaster. You go up, and then as soon as it's about to go down, everyone leave. So now, let me ask you some questions because we kumbaya, but sometimes you gotta listen. Like we got two. You see what I'm saying?
2 ears, 1 mouth.
All right. So if we all players and we all saying we care about mental health, why every time something happen bad or how someone react, oh, he's crazy, there's something wrong with his mental health. There's nothing wrong with my mental health. Someone told me get the out of here. I'm not passive aggressive. B. Muscle said he was gonna be passive aggressive. Listen to a guy, tell him get the F out of here. When the guy already said he never wanted you, whatever. But it's bigger than me.
I know it's bigger than you.
Because a lot of guys going through this.
Here's what I'm saying to you is
how do you protect your mental health as a football player
all of that
in
is
regards to getting what you want? How do you do that?
So Antonio Brown said, there's nothing wrong with my mental health. Someone told me to get the F out of here. I'm not passive aggressive. Let me ask you this question. If someone told you to get the F out of here in an emotional setting like that, is the level-headed, rational thing to do to take off your pads and run half naked into the locker room? Tell y'all, and there's a lot of people listening right now who understand this, because you know people who've been diagnosed with mental health issues, and you know what that's like. The hardest thing to do is to get someone with a mental health disorder to acknowledge that they are sick. It's the hardest thing to do, because in between your own ears, it's your normal. You don't know any different. Like, I'm not a psychologist, I'm not a psychiatrist, but that's also not new to me. So, look, man, and if this were an isolated incident, you could look and say, okay, you just snapped for a minute, lost it. It's been a repetitive pattern of behavior for years now with Antonio Brown. And some people will say, well, he's just an a-hole. Maybe he is. But there's something deeper there. So, wish him well, man. I don't know if he ever finds his way back to football. Probably not. I can't imagine that after this, you find your way back. But whatever it is for Antonio Brown. And the only reason I wanted to talk about it today and play that for you is because I did sit here after that and tell you I think the man has mental health issues. And he disputed that publicly, so I wanted to play that in fairness. So, all right, it's after further review. Thanks for being here with us. Tiger basketball lost last night, disappointing loss. I did tell you we'll dive a little deeper into the officiating questions. We'll do that in the next hour. All things considered, though, LSU right now, still top 10 team in the net. They are 3-3 in the conference. Got a good opportunity to go on the road and beat Tennessee this weekend, a team you've already beat, and see if you can get Xavier Pinson back. But Tigers are going to have to fix a lot of what ails it as it moves through really the next portion of the SEC schedule. So we'll do a ton of that. Well, let's hear from Will Wade, who was livid after the game, as you might imagine. He was livid during the game. That's all coming up in the next hour. Let me knock out a quick break. Pels at Knicks tonight. Is Zion ever going to play for the Pelicans again? We'll ask Scott Kushner next.
AFR.
Hey, let me take 60 seconds and remind you about Clegg's Nursery, 4 locations in the greater Baton Rouge area. Look, it is freezing right now. Like, literally, it's going to be 31 degrees tonight, and it's going to be even more so this weekend with freezing temps coming in. Make sure you take the necessary steps to protect your plants and everything outside. If you need help, Clegg's has all that information on their social media to go through a freeze, what to do. If you're not sure and you want, you can pop in any Clegg's Nursery Ask their horticulturist there. They will have all the answers for you. Any of the 4 locations in the greater Baton Rouge area: Seagant near Airline, LA 16 in Denham, Mid-City on Donmore, Garden Center on Greenwell Springs. Of course, if you're preparing for this weather or you're just cleaning up outside, remember, Clegg's is partnered with True Value Hardware stores. So anything you'd find at a True Value Hardware store, you'll also find at Clegg's Nursery. I always encourage you to support great local businesses, and Clegg's is one of them that's been here for more than 60 years. So buy local, shop local, and tell them Matt sent you. The Clegg's Nursery.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
To the heroes who are working tirelessly to care for our communities, we thank you. We will never forget the countless hours you dedicated on the front lines, choosing to risk your own health to fight for our friends, neighbors, and family members.
I mean, you guys are out on the front lines fighting it.
We are grateful for your heroic acts and unwavering spirit. Together, we are overcoming this adversity and make our state healthier and more vibrant again. Ochsner Health.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Yo, Jake here for Patient Plus Urgent Care Clinic, reminding you they now have 8 convenient locations across the Baton Rouge area, open from 9 a.m. until 9 p.m. And if you're looking for that COVID test for holiday travel, or you have a holiday event coming up, they're the place for you, as well as a flu shot. It's starting to creep up here during flu season, so if you need that shot, make sure you get that. They now have some available through December. You can find more information on their website, patientplusuc.com. That's Patient Plus Urgent Care Clinic. Get in and get better.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana, Baton Rouge, Lafayette, and online at theantiagingclinics.com. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
I was at the Tao pool party in Las Vegas for my 30th birthday, and they played Party Rock, and then everyone started making it rain in the pool. It was a highlight.
This song just has that. It just has that effect on people.
Muso played it. I was like, why is this song so good? I don't know. It just is.
Because of reasons like that.
I guess. Scott Kushner joins us from The Advocate. He covers the Pelicans. Do you like Party Rock?
Who doesn't like Party Rock?
Right? Why is
LMFAO doesn't take you back to 2011, 12? I don't know. Whatever that was.
Well, it was
what a time.
It was 2000. I was born in 82, so 2012 would have been my 30th. Went to Vegas for the UFC fights. It was It was when Chael Sonnen fought Anderson Silva for the rematch. So Silva Sonnen 2 there at the MGM Grand, and we went to the Tao pool party and made it rain. It was a hell of a time. Not even gonna lie to you.
Nothing to be ashamed of there. Ain't nothing to be ashamed of.
And then I was back in Vegas a couple of summers ago, and at the time I was there, it was NBA Summer League when Zion was in his, entering his rookie season with the Pelicans. They had an earthquake.
We were both there.
We were both there.
Yeah.
They had the earthquake there. And who knew that we wouldn't see Zion play from that moment to now?
The world shook and never been the same.
It kind of is true. Are we ever going to see Zion play for the Pelicans again?
I mean, that's like a philosophical question, right? It's like, how can the ant lift 1,000 times its own weight? Like, will we ever see Zion play basketball again? These are questions that can't be answered. There's really, I mean, I've given up trying to guess if when he's coming back. It's been very frustrating for everyone involved. Zero coming out of his camp, not even leaks, really nothing. And he's went to Portland, so he's away from the team completely, and no one really knows how it's healing. This was supposed to be a 3 to 6 month injury. We're working on month 8 since he hurt it initially, and there's really been no update that would say that he's getting close.
So you cover the team, and you talk to people around the organization. Is there a feeling that he's milking it? That he's not really that he should have been back by now?
I think milking it would be the wrong way to put it. I think him not taking his rehab seriously has been a concern of everyone since basically the day he got to New Orleans. Not necessarily that he never takes it seriously or that he doesn't think it matters at all, which there have been guys that have come and gone who have been like that. But I think he just kind of goes in waves where he is not always taking it as his, as the number one job, which is to go rehab and get it ready. So certainly that first injury, which also lingered his rookie year, that one took forever for him to finally get back. That I think was always a problem. And in this one, I didn't hear as many complaints about, just like him not showing up for therapy sessions. But at the same time, I don't think it's been great. And I think there's certainly, he's not milking it. It's just like the bone's not healing, and they don't know what to do. They don't know what the problem is. The doctors seem to not really have a full answer, and certainly Zion doesn't really seem to have much of an answer.
Hey, I hate to do this. We're gonna call you right back though, because it sounds like you're underwater, like you're gargle, like you're talking underwater, like. Blah, 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 blah. So we're gonna call you right back.
I'm sorry.
No, it's not your fault at
all.
Muse is gonna call you right back. You were hearing that too, right? I'm not losing my mind. Because this is far too important of a conversation. To have anything lost in translation there. Scott Kushner of The Advocate is our guest. Hope to get him there in a better connection. Again, he said 3 to 6 month injury that is working on month 8 now. And when is it possible that he'll be back with this team? Will he be back with this team? Okay, can you please thank you. All right, sorry about that, Scott. All right, so you said 3 month injury, 3 to 6 month injury, working on month 8, concerned that maybe he's not taking his rehab seriously. Do you expect him to play this year for New Orleans?
No, I don't. I mean, I'd at this point, like, to think otherwise, you have to be naive or stupid, right? Like, all the evidence that's been presented to us is that he will not play. He might play, but we have no evidence of that.
Okay. So there's a lot of different directions to go because they're going to have a contract decision to make with him as well.
Yes.
Surely, like, this is still Zion Williamson. This is still the number 1 overall pick in the draft. You have to extend him, yes?
Yes. I don't think they have a choice. And it'd be one thing if this was a Greg Oden situation where he never really did much in the NBA. He was really hurt, and he never put it together. That's not him. He was an all-star last year. He was a 20-plus point scorer from the moment he stepped on an NBA court. He is a dynamic, unique player. They are going to have to pay him no matter what they think of his concerns. Now, will he be traded a year into that contract? Perhaps, if this is, irreparable. But I just don't think they have a choice in order to extend him. He's too important, and he's too valuable. Frankly, he's an asset, even if he's unhealthy.
Do you explore trading him? Like sign and trade?
Yes. Not today, not this year, but I think somewhere down the line, if this – I mean, the situation is not good. You'd have to be – I guess there just has to be a level of naivete to not even think about it, especially when you went through it with Chris Paul and AD, and you see every other NBA star go through this who's been through less turmoil with their team. I just think you'll eventually explore it, but for now, you just have to focus on try to get him on the court and understand that the end game probably ends with this being a trade.
How did it get to this point so quickly?
It's a great question. I can't answer that. I mean, the injuries did not help. His relationship with David Griffin certainly did not help either. Going through 3 coaches to start your NBA career doesn't help much either. COVID didn't help. There's a lot of things that occurred for a kid that has a sterling reputation. Like, he came in, Coach K just gushes over him constantly. Everybody who's ever been around him loves him. His stepdad is definitely a character and loud and carries a lot of influence, but certainly not to the extent that we've seen that we thought it would, be blowing up, making Anthony Davis look like easy, in by comparison. And I think it's just strange. It really is. It's strange and unfortunate the way these things have gone apart.
Can we get Coach K to come coach the Pels?
Yeah, that would be the next. Gail Benson doesn't need the money, right? She said she's got too much money for her own good. Throw $15 million at Coach K and see what happens.
You think he would do it?
Sure. For a couple of years, if you threw enough money at him. He's retiring anyway from Duke. Yeah, I think he'd do it.
I would.
Yeah. What's the worst thing that happens? He loses? You think anyone's going to remember that about Coach K?
No. Maybe.
Does anyone remember this college? Nick Saban lost for 3 years? Anyone care?
That's true. But then he went and reestablished himself.
That's true.
All right, Scott Kushner is our guest. I didn't intend to talk about Zion the whole time. I was really just kind of throwing like an obligatory Zion question out there to get us rolling, and that became the whole damn thing. So, they play tonight against the Knicks, but do you really care?
No. It's really hard to care about this team right now. I'm watching it, obviously, and they're playing hard. They really do. They have a really good coach who's got them motivated every night. They're probably playing their most consistent basketball in a decade, but that consistency level only allows them to get to a certain ceiling, and then they kind of can't crack it. So it makes them a relatively boring follow, even though they are kind of, they're easy to root for, but they're not very good.
Give me anything to watch or care about in this game tonight with the Knicks.
I think you got to see if Brandon Ingram gets back on track. He had a really tough game against Boston, and he's a guy who's trying to get an all-star bid, and these are the kind of games that matter a lot, and he needs to be able to take over games against teams like the Knicks, which are like a 500-level team, and whether or not he can kind of establish dominance in those games, because he did not against the Nets and he did not against Boston.
Of course, you can hear that game on 100.3 ESPN New Orleans. That's our New Orleans affiliate, KLRZ. He is Scott Kushner. You can read his stuff there at The Advocate. He's on Twitter at Scott D. Kushner. Tiger's going to take care of the Vols at the Tommy Bowl on Saturday?
I hate playing y'all. I really do. I don't know why. LSU absolutely has Tennessee's number.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. It's like LSU playing at Bama. There's no real explanation for it. It shouldn't be as one-sided as it is. It just is.
I know. We lose every time, and it's I think there's a Will Wade thing going on in there somewhere against Rick Barnes. I'd certainly rather have Will Wade, but the talent is probably relatively even, but he beats him every single freaking time.
Well, I got good news for you.
We're only on the schedule one more time.
Well, but also Javonte Smart's not going to play in this game, so that's going for you.
I appreciate that.
That's tell you what, that Saturday where Trendon had the concussion and Javonte decided to go off for like 30, boy, that was fun.
I bought really expensive tickets to that one too. I was like on the third row. I got a babysitter for the whole day. I was like, here we go.
You're like, it's Grant Williams time. No.
So Grant Williams and Admiral Schofield. I was all in.
How you feeling about how you feeling about
him hit free throws.
How you feeling about football up there with Josh Heupel?
I mean, he's not terrible. That's the first time you could say the coach isn't terrible for the first time in a while, right?
Good. You riding the Hendon Hooker train?
Yes. Oh God, he's like a functional quarterback. I'm so excited.
And the Hendon Hooker hype train. I like it.
Yeah.
A lot of alliteration.
Hooker's and throw, man.
That's so good. All right. He's Scott Kushner. Read his stuff. Follow him on Twitter and all that stuff. All right, we'll bother you again sometime down the road. Thank you.
See you, Matt. Talk to you soon.
All right, see you, man. It's after further. That's so sad. All right, poll question for today, Muse. The Citizens Bank poll question of the day. Will Zion Williamson ever play for the Pelicans again, yes or no? Well, he said he doesn't think that Zion plays for him again this year. That's surprising. It's very surprising. Maybe I shouldn't be, but we're not even to the All-Star break. We're past the halfway point, but we're not even at the All-Star break yet. I mean, theoretically, at some point, he will get healthy enough to go run the floor and play some ball. I can't imagine he wants to just not play a season in his prime, but maybe. Pels are 16-28. The crazy thing about this, y'all, is like they're 16-28. They're third from the bottom. Only the Thunder and the Rockets have a worse record in the West. But they're 2 games out of the 10 spot, which gets you into the play-in. Like, they're right there. I mean, that's one of the things about expanding the playoff and things, is that it keeps you engaged longer. It keeps more teams, more fan bases engaged longer. So Portland is 18-26. Pelicans are 16-28. So they're right there. See if they can make a move here in the second half. All right, it's after further review. Glad to have you hanging out with us here. We'll knock out a quick break. Muso, we'll have Tigers and the Pros to wrap up hour number 2 next.
AFR.
Hey, if you're looking for dinner plans tonight, I have an idea. I like my boss, Frank Sherwood. How about Ichiban? Essen near Perkins. I got Muse. I knew it would get Muse. I knew it. There's a few times, there's a movie, if you're referenced, where Muse, it's just, it's candy from a baby. You know he's going to double over laughing. But Ichiban, Essen near Perkins, best sushi and best hibachi in the best 225. And from our friends at Ichiban, their newest concept, Bo-Ru Ramen in Electric Depot on Government Street. Have you tried Bo-Ru yet? You got to do this. You got to experience what is so many of us just get into the habits of going to the same places where we live. You know what I'm talking about. Try something new. Bo-Ru is in the heart of Mid-City. You get off of I-110 on Government Street. You head east. It's on the left in Electric Depot. If you're coming toward the river, it's on your right. Bo-Ru's nestled in the back. All-weather patio dining. Authentic ramen. It's Bo-Ru Ramen.
Bayou Ford has 0.9% for 60 months on new Ford F-150 plus $1,000 bonus cash. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1,000,000-mile warranty. And right now, get $1,000 bonus cash plus 0.9% APR for 60 months on new 2021 Ford F-150. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
And our topic today is about savings. What is savings?
Hancock Whitney isn't just a bank for our clients. We're investing in our hometowns, making life better for everyone. So keep dreaming. We've got your back.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care. It's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Kushner.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota.
We give it to the people, spread it across the country. Here we go back, this is the moment, tonight is the night, we'll fight till it's over, so we put our hands up.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana, Baton Rouge, Lafayette, and online at theantiagingclinics.com. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
All right, wrapping up hour number 2. We're brought to you by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana, Blue Bonnet, Baton Rouge, Ambassador, Caffrey, and Lafayette. Online, theantiagingclinics.com. Muso has Tigers in the Pros.
Tigers in the Pros. They still bleed purple and gold. They're just really rich now. Presented by Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, where Baton Rouge gets engaged.
All right, let's start once again with injury updates from the divisional round of the playoffs. The Los Angeles Rams, they have not released their latest injury report yet for today. We're keeping an eye on Andrew Whitworth there with a knee. Did not practice yesterday. Was hoping to have an update by now, but we don't yet. Their opponent, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Cyril Grayson, again held out of practice today with a hamstring, getting closer and closer to that game and not looking great for the former LSU speedster. Leonard Fournette.
Hey,
I'm getting to
Sorry.
it. Hashtag GameCoin Lenny.
Attaboy.
Interesting case with Leonard Fournette. So he's not listed on the injury report. Reporters saw him out in the early portion of practice, but the word from Tampa Bay is he would not have been available if they had to play the game today. Yet he's not on the injury report. So you really need to keep an eye on that one. It's a bit confusing. Of course, Leonard's been dealing with a hamstring since Week 15 versus the New Orleans Saints. And for the Kansas City Chiefs, Darrell Williams once again held out of practice today with a toe injury. That's 2 days this week. He has not practiced. Again, getting closer and closer to the game. But the good news is Clyde Edwards-Helaire with the shoulder today. Full practice once again, Matt.
But you keep disrespecting this man by mispronouncing his name.
No, it's fine. It's all good.
It's not all good.
Everybody does it.
You're mispronouncing his name.
Nah.
You are.
Potato.
No,
Yeah.
it's Helaire.
Right, that's what I said.
How the man? No, that's
Helaire.
not at all.
That's
That's not at all what you just said.
Helaire. That's what I said.
You just said it there.
Right.
Play back the tape.
I can't do that yet. We got to get to the end of the hour. And I still have more Tigers in the pros to go. Mainly in the NBA, where we find Nas
That's
Reed.
not important. There's nobody from Calicut in the NBA. Just skip it.
Well, we can't do that. We can't skip Nas Reed. He had 7 and 6 last night. Another really productive night for the big man out of LSU. 2 of 7 from the floor, 3 of 4 from the free throw line. Also added an assist and a block. T-Wolves lost to the Hawks. Skylar Mays not on the floor for Atlanta last night. I don't know because he wasn't in the G League either. I know that's what we were hoping for. He wasn't. The College Park Skyhawks did not play last night, but the Wisconsin Herd did, which means Tremont Waters was in action, and Tremont got the start once again for the Wisconsin Herd. Played 36 minutes, 9 points, 4 of 13 from the floor. Did add on 4 assists and grab 4 boards, 1 steal for Tremont. Tonight, Garrett Temple, Pelicans, facing the Knicks. That's it for NBA action tonight. That's Tigers and the Pros.
Presented by Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, lmfj.com, lmfj.com. Remember, you can order online. You get free ground shipping on all orders, and you get free 2-day shipping on orders over $1,000. So you can shop them online at lmfj.com, lmfj.com. But remember, you want a beautiful diamond, the highest quality diamond in the world with the Lee Michaels experience, their replacement guarantee. It's all there. The Lifetime Ring Upgrade Program. Learn more at lmfj.com, lmfj.com for Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. All right, well, now I got a quick break here. Sports Center's coming up. Get you caught up on national headlines. When we come back, LSU is targeting a cornerback now in the transfer portal. I want to talk about him next. Stay here. Hour 3 of AFR coming up.
AFR.
Brought to you by Shawbills Tire and Auto Service, ShawbillsTire.com. Name brand tires at wholesale prices, bumper-to-bumper auto service, and now open in Denham Springs. The latest Shawbills location there in Livingston Parish is now open, so if you're hanging out there down I-12, you know where to bring the thing. It's the Shawbills. You can schedule service online. You can find the location nearest you online. You can even learn about all of the dealer specials they have. If you go to the website, tap the promotions tab right there at the top. I tell you all the time, nobody is going to work harder to get you the best tires on the road for the cheapest price possible. They've got manufacturer offers, and then on top of it, they've got their own store offers. Like, use your Shawbills credit card, $50 off any purchase first time you use the card. ShawbillsTire.com to learn more about all the offers that they have at ShawbillsTire.com. Shawbills, where we keep you rolling.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you were born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
had to pack up all my things. I had to leave my home. And I never knew where I was going next. It felt like I never even had a say. But then you came along.
Change a child's story. There's a child in foster care waiting for a volunteer like you.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Steve Lennox. Cincinnati Bengals, Tennessee Titans open up the divisional round of the NFL playoffs Saturday in Nashville. Keyshawn Johnson says he'll take the tandem from the Bengals with their QB and receiver over the Titans tandem at the same two positions.
Well, I'm taking Burrow and Chase. I'm not even thinking about it. This is a matchup made in heaven. Two guys that went to LSU together. They just been phenomenal. People tried to tell me, and I wouldn't listen, that they were going to light up the scoreboard in the National Football League. But I was wrong. Now I'm right because I'm picking them.
Keyshawn Johnson today on Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max. Jamar Chase, 116 receiving yards in the Bengals' wildcard game against the Raiders. No rookie in NFL history has ever recorded multiple 100-yard receiving games in the postseason. Bulls' Lonzo Ball going to have surgery on a torn meniscus in his left knee, expected to miss 6 to 8 weeks. Bulls right now percentage points ahead of the Miami Heat for the top spot in the Eastern Conference. Phoenix Suns on the road in Dallas tonight to face the Mavericks. Coverage on ESPN radio affiliates in 1 hour. Suns right now have won 8 in a row in the series against the Mavericks, are also an NBA best 17-4 on the road this season.
Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max.
I think the most important non-quarterback is Aaron Donald. Look at what it means for the guys around him rushing the quarterback, so I think it's going to be tough for the Bucs to win this game.
This and more, Friday, starting at 6 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on ESPN2.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios. Let's ride.
Hour 3, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR, presented by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana. Matt.
This is Shaq O'Neal, and I hate Matt.
Paul O'Neal.
They're chanting Paul O'Neal's name.
Muso. And Mr. Toby Tomplay. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. 5 o'clock quitting time. Glad you're driving home with us. Mike Triplett here in about 15 minutes from right now. Very much looking forward to that chat as we do every week during football season. And we were supposed to be done, but then Mike went and wrote a piece today about how the Saints have basically gotten screwed by the officials the last 4 years. It's up at ESPN.com. I'm dead serious. He looked into all the numbers, and basically the Saints have been screwed by the officials for 4 straight years. So you better know I'm going to have Mike on here to talk about it. I texted him earlier. I said, you were supposed to be done with me, and then you decide to drop this thing on this day. Of course I have to have you on the show. He's like, yeah, I expected this text. Well, come on. So Mike Triplett here in about 12 minutes from right now. So LSU got awesome news Wednesday. Ali Gaye returning. It's been really a lot of good news throughout this week. Micah Baskerville is returning. They've gone bonkers in the transfer portal with 11 additions, many of whom are now enrolled at LSU, and it's been announced on Thursday formally as part of the LSU program. We've gone through this week, though, and we've assessed where LSU is at different positions. And there's one consensus. LSU is still dangerously thin at cornerback. They have added one transfer cornerback so far in Makai Gardner from ULL. But their numbers at cornerback are paper thin, dangerously thin. It's the most glaring weakness on the team. Ali Gaye returning really solidifies you on the defensive line. You add Makai Wingo. At linebacker, you've added West Weeks from Virginia. You get Micah Baskerville back. You get Mike Jones back. You'd love to add more bodies there, but you're good there. Now, safety and nickel safety, you feel good, especially adding Joe Fouché. And then you've added Gregory Brooks from Arkansas. And to go along with Jay Ward, who can play safety or corner, Sage Ryan, who played sort of nickel safety this year, could play either. And all the guys that are your traditional safeties. Major Burns will be healthy next year. You've got guys everywhere except at cornerback. And LSU's trying to fix that. They need to fix that. Obviously need to fix that. You've got Demarius McGee and you've got Ray Darius Jones. You got two corners. You signed LaTerrence Welch and you signed Jordan Allen, so you got two freshmen coming in. That's 4. And you've added Mekhi Gardner in the transfer portal, which gives you 5. 5 corners. Now, you could move Jay Ward to corner. You could potentially play Sage Ryan at corner. You still don't even have enough bodies. When you're primarily playing nickel, and you got 5 defensive backs on the field, 3 of whom are cornerbacks, when you only have 5 total, that's a problem. I can remember in the 8th grade, we had a football team at Most Blessed Sacrament where we had 12 guys on the team, which meant during a game, there was always like just one guy standing on the sideline. There were 11 playing, 1 on the sideline. And you're like, yeah, you're in trouble with your numbers like that. When we would practice, we would do half of the line at a time. It would be like center guard, tackle, quarterback, running back, and then you'd have like half the defense on the other side. Anyway, that's what LSU's cornerback room looks like right now. But as we mentioned, they're trying to fix it. Tigers are targeting a Louisiana native. Jarek Bernard Converse, who has entered the transfer portal after starting his career at Oklahoma State. He is a target by this LSU staff right now. And, man, this would be a big get if they were able to snag him. So a little bit of background. He's from Evangel. He was not highly recruited coming out of Evangel. He was a 3-star. He was the 88th best safety in the country, the 47th best prospect in Louisiana. So didn't have legitimate major offers. So he goes to Oklahoma State. And what do you know? The kid actually knew how to play football. Gets on the field as a freshman in 2018 and wins the Russell Okung Award for Oklahoma State's Outstanding Newcomer. As a freshman in 2018, he ended up starting the last 9 games of the season, and he has started every game since to the tune of 47 consecutive starts. How about that? Stunning. And because of the COVID, he's played 4 years, but because of the COVID year, he has a free 5th year of eligibility. Perhaps another Louisiana kid who might have the opportunity to finish his career at LSU. And he has been not just a body on the field who's played a bunch, he has been massively impactful. Starting 9 games as a freshman, as a sophomore, had 54 tackles, was among the team leaders in that category. As a junior, started all 11 games at cornerback, tied for the team lead in PBUs, and then this year as a senior was first team all Big 12, 51 tackles, 11 pass breakups in 14 games. 6'1", long corner. He fits the mold. I'm not telling you he's Elias Ricks. I'm not telling you he's Dwight McLaughlin. I am telling you he's better than any cornerback you have on the roster right now. He would step in, if you're able to get him, he would step on campus and immediately be the best cover cornerback you have on your roster if he commits to LSU. Now you can start to work if you get him. Because you can put Jarek Bernard Converse on one side, and then you could let them battle it out on the other side. Maybe it's Makai Gardner. Maybe it's a combination of the guys who are already here with Demarius McGee and Rodarius Jones. Maybe they battle it out for one of those starting spots. Maybe it allows you to keep Jay Ward at safety, Sage Ryan at nickel, or Sage Ryan and Gregory Brooks rotate at nickel. You understand my point? My point is you have options. When you solidify one of your starting spots, you have options for how you move the pieces on the chessboard to get your best players on the field in whatever look you want. But you got to have that queen piece on the chessboard first, the king piece on the chessboard first. This would be the guy at the greatest position of need you have right now who would be your alpha if you could get him. I don't have any insight. We've all just found out about this that LSU's targeting as soon as he entered the transfer portal, and sincerely hopeful that LSU is able to make this happen. And doesn't it sort of fit the bill, fit the mold of what LSU has done so far in the portal? They've gone after veteran guys with Louisiana ties who are have a year of eligibility remaining, who've played a lot of football, who can transition here in their final season of major college football to play in their home state school and try to do it big at LSU. And Jarek Bernard-Converse would certainly meet that criteria if LSU can get him. So if you're just wondering about the numbers, LSU, they signed, as we mentioned, the 2 cornerbacks in December with LaTerrence Welsh and Jordan Allen. They added, like we mentioned, Makai Gardner, the transfer from ULL. So put you at 5 corners. And you have 8 scholarship spots remaining. So you have 11 players in the transfer portal already. You have 8 scholarship spots still remaining for the class of 2022. I don't know if they'll fill all 8 through the February signing period, 2 weeks from yesterday. They hold spots for maybe potential transfers after spring football. Don't know. But the other player that that we were talking about was Latrell McCutcheon, who's the highest rated remaining cornerback in the portal who had been at Oklahoma. Well, he announced today he's going to Southern Cal. So with McCutcheon off the board, this is as good of an option as there exists right now for a transfer. Louisiana kid with a chance to come home and finish out his college career at LSU at a position of dire need. Go get him. We'll keep you posted. All right, it's after further review. Will Wade absolutely annihilated the officials during and after the game. We'll get to that in about 15 minutes. Mike Triplett joins us next. AFR.
AFR.
Brought to you by River City's 1 Hour Air. Matter of fact, this morning, Casey from River City's 1 Hour Air was over at Casa de Scone. We had our heater safety check. Tell you about it all the time. It's the standard preventative maintenance, the seasonal maintenance that you should absolutely have. And remember, if you're part of their membership club, that maintenance is complimentary, and they call you to set it up. So Casey came to the house this morning, got a call, was dropping Drew off at school about 8:40. They were scheduled to come at 9. They said, hey, we have a technician ready to head to your house. I said, perfect. I'm going to be home in about 20 minutes. So, boom, right on time, got to work, checked our heater, tip-top shape, as we expected, because we get it inspected every year to make sure that it consistently is in tip-top shape. You wouldn't go years without changing the oil in your car. You shouldn't go years without maintaining your system. So, River City's 1 Hour Air. Give them a buzz, 752-0001. Look for the big yellow trucks and vans with the giant clock on the side that you see all over town. 752-0001.
Bayou Ford has 0.9% for 60 months on new Ford F-150 plus $1,000 bonus cash. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile warranty. And right now, get $1,000 bonus cash plus 0.9% APR for 60 months on new 2021 Ford F-150. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
And our topic today is about savings. What is savings?
Hancock Whitney isn't just a bank for our clients. We're investing in our hometowns, making life better for everyone. So keep dreaming. We've got your back.
During these challenging times, we know your healthcare needs don't stop. Cancer, accidents, injuries, and heart disease are relentless. So we are relentlessly innovating to keep you safe, both virtually and in person, connecting you with providers remotely, advancing clinical spaces, providing rapid and accurate testing, social distancing, and certified cleaning protocols. We are Auctioner, and we will not slow down. Auctioner Health, innovating healthcare.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Yo, Jake here from Patient Plus Urgent Care Clinic, reminding you they now have 8 convenient locations across the Baton Rouge area, open from 9 a.m. until 9 p.m. And if you're looking for that COVID test for holiday travel, or you have a holiday event coming up, they are the place for you, as well as a flu shot. It's starting to creep up here during flu season, so if you need that shot, make sure you get that. They now have some available through December. You can find more information on their website, patientplusuc.com. That's Patient Plus Urgent Care Clinic. Get in and get better.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Just purify the air around you. Want to get rid of cold and flu and strep and staph and odor and all of that sort of stuff. This can do it. I got the Fresh Air Mobile right here in studio with me every day. It's the size of a cell phone. That can purify up to 500 square feet. The Air and Surface Pro can purify up to 3,000 square feet. Check it out online. mycleanliving.net. mycleanliving.net. So, Mike Triplett broke ESPN.com today. How are you, man?
Good. How are you doing, Matt?
Very well. So is this the most read article that you've ever done in your career?
No. I don't know the numbers for sure, but I don't think it's. I do think locally, obviously, it's of great interest. I don't know if it, it didn't lead the page on the NFL page or anything. And look, I think the story, I actually became aware of these numbers last year and was kind of feeling out the Saints and the NFL to be like, well, is anybody looking into this? Are there any formal complaints over this? Is there any, and then we did the research with the numbers, and, there were some other teams that had finished last 2 years in a row, that had finished bottom 3 or bottom 5 3 years in a row. And I was kind of like, I guess it's eye-opening, but it's not, impossible. And then when they finished last again this year, it was like, oh my, this is just impossible to ignore. So, it's mostly laying the numbers out there, pointing out how rare it is. And there's no accusations in the story. I think something like this would be almost too hard to orchestrate if it was really like an agenda. But at the very least, it adds to that pile of everything from this season that the Saints were up against that they had to overcome: hurricane evacuations, COVID injuries, and this wild penalty disparity.
Okay, for those just joining who haven't seen the article yet, Mike has a piece at ESPN.com. The headline reads, "No calls haunt the New Orleans Saints. Numbers suggest it's worse than one playoff call." Essentially, the Saints have been, their opponents have been the least penalized of any team in the NFL each of the last 4 seasons.
Right. Well, they've been in the bottom 3 each of the last 4 seasons. It
Okay.
was 30th, 31st, 32nd, and tied for 31st. So almost impossible. And look, I was actually surprised how many similar examples there were. No other team had ever finished even bottom 3 years in a row, dating back to 2001. There were some that Elias Sports Bureau had dug up, 70s, 80s, where it happened 3 years in a row. There's only one example of it ever happening 4 years in a row to the Packers, 70-73 on accepted penalties because they didn't have the total called penalty data. But even from 2013 to 2017, on the flip side, the Cardinals finished top 3, like the fewest the most flags called against their opponents 4 years in a row. They were top 3. So weird things have happened like this, but just natural assumption in your brain is it should be random, and a perfect example of what random looks like. This is maybe the most shocking detail in the entire story. The Buccaneers tied the Saints for last this year. Tom Brady got the fewest calls against him of any quarterback in the league this year. But the Buccaneers, they finished 31st this year. Last year they finished 3rd. The year before that they were 28th. The year before that they were 3rd. It was all over the map. Because there should be no rhyme or reason to whether your opponents are committing penalties against you. It's a different crew. It's a different team in every game.
So, to what do you attribute this disparity that's gone against New Orleans for almost half decade?
I really don't know. Naturally, that you could attribute a conspiracy theory to it, or
yes.
The refs don't like the Saints, or the refs don't like Sean Payton. But that's too hard for me. One of the people I spoke to is John Perry, who was Super Bowl referee, a referee for 19 years, an official for 19 years, worked Saints game almost every one of those 19 years, and he's now the ESPN officiating analyst. And he said, listen, we officiate every play he called it its own 6-second universe. He's like, we all have, 5 assignments. We're staring at that play. We don't look at, what team it is or even what player it is. We see uniforms and numbers, and we get graded on whether we get the call right or not. So to think that, hundreds of officials have all agreed to officiate the Saints one way would be quite a leap. But maybe they're not getting the benefit of the doubt. Maybe, who knows? Who knows? But one thing I thought I might see that I did not see was that the Saints are a good team, and one person theorized to me, you'd think teams commit more penalties against good teams because they're desperate or they're playing catch up but that was not true. Good teams, bad teams, it almost really didn't matter. The number 3 team and a team that has finished bottom 10 in each of the last 5 years is the Green Bay Packers. They're not nearly in the same boat as the Saints, but they're 3rd from the bottom in getting penalties to go their way, or opponents' penalties called, and they've been one of the other best teams in the league over the last 5 years.
Mike Triplett's with us, ESPN.com. You do also point out at the end of the piece about Sean Payton leaving the competition committee. Can you elaborate on what significance that has?
I don't know. I mentioned it as a detail, but Payton never explained it, and I never got an explanation on why Payton left the competition committee. But, he suggested it's some form of unhappiness with the league or with rules or with how things are done, because he goes, it was just time for me to move on. I'm going to leave it at that so I don't get fined. And look, we know that Sean Payton has expressed his disappointment with certain rules, with certain rule interpretations. Obviously, the pass interference call and how that was officiated. He actually brought that up, I think, when people were talking about the taunting rule. He's not a big fan of the taunting rule. He did not like the one-person replay booth in New York. He suggested that should be maybe 3 people conferring and coming to some judgment together. He's been a big advocate, as have I, for the concept of a sky judge like you see in college.
Yep.
Calling those down to the field quickly, which we're actually seeing sort of informally implemented in the NFL. But, he has strong ideas about how number one, I skipped the number one. He has said for years that he can't believe officials aren't full-time, working full-time and training and learning and working on their craft, as opposed to it being sort of a part-time gig for them.
That's perplexing to basically everyone who watches football and knows that that's the reality. But it's also why officials are bad at their job. All of them are. That's my contention anyway, Mike. He's on Twitter at Mike Triplett. Before you go, 2 things. Number one, I'm sure I know you saw it. It was at ESPN.com. The suggestion that Sean Payton might leave for a TV gig. You have a reaction to that?
Well, I don't know. Obviously, I've heard that floated, and am prepared and digging to see where we're at with that. But no, nothing concretely that I've been able to report.
Well, let me ask. I wasn't asking for a report. What would be your reaction? Do you think that would even be something that's that should be entertained as an idea?
That should even be entertained by what?
Just as an idea, is it something we should even entertain? The idea that Sean Payton could leave the Saints to go join a TV network this year. If that happened, what would be your reaction?
I will never be shocked if he decides to leave the game because of the amount of years he's been here, the amount of years he's been doing it at such a high level, the stress that this season took. So, that wouldn't shock me as much as seeing, a third-year coach walk away from the game. But, we've seen so many things that haven't come to fruition. And even a few years ago when Sean Payton very much looked into the possibility of coaching elsewhere and took some time to explore other opportunities before deciding to stay with the Saints, it's not impossible. I would never say, oh, no, that there's no way that could ever happen. I wouldn't say that, no.
All right, last thing. A lot of mock drafts have the Saints taking Kenny Pickett, including Mel Kiper's at ESPN.com. How would you feel about the Saints taking the quarterback from Pittsburgh?
If the Saints take a quarterback in round 1, I will believe they have real conviction on that pick, because they have resisted the urge to take a quarterback for so long. They have never forced it. Even when Drew Brees was 38, 39, and 40 and 41, they've resisted the urge. They've never desperately been like, we need a quarterback, so we're going to just take a quarterback. But the problem is, this is the hardest year to predict that it'll happen, because they pick 18th. Most analysts say that there's not a lot of great quarterback talent in this draft. So if 1 or 2 guys really have a good stretch from the Senior Bowl to private workouts to the Combine, they'll probably go in the top 5. So the idea of the Saints falling in love with a quarterback in this year's draft class and him being within their reach at 18, I think that would take a perfect storm. But obviously, it's their number one need. So if they can find one they like, it'd be great if they did.
Well, I told you last week I wasn't going to bother you anymore, and we didn't even make it a week. So I'd like to tell you,
right. We are far from having put this season to bed yet.
I know, but when things do persist, we'll call again. We always appreciate you making time for us, Mike. Thank you.
Thanks, Matt.
That is Mike Triplett, ESPN.com. He's on Twitter at Mike Triplett. If you have not read it, it's a fascinating read at ESPN.com. Mike dug into the numbers, and it's an alarming trend. Whether there's, I do not believe in conspiracy theories. I don't think the NFL is conspiring, or officials are conspiring to screw the New Orleans Saints. But it is a fascinating test case when you look at it. and to look at how the numbers have gone against New Orleans and how some of these statistical anomalies do exist. Same thing's happening with LSU basketball, which I've resisted for 2 hours and 29 minutes, but I guess I'll talk about when we come back next. The Tigers are drawing the short straw in the foul category right now in basketball. We'll talk about it next. It's AFR.
AFR.
AFR is brought to you by the Baton Rouge General Hospital. You know where to find them, brgeneral.org, brgeneral.org. Maybe you're considering a joint replacement. Remember, the Baton Rouge General has the Mako robot, exclusively has the Mako robot for knee replacement and other joint replacements and other robotic surgery. If you go to the website at brgeneral.org and you look at all of the different services that they offer, and if you select surgery when you scroll down, you'll see the robotics tab right there as well. You can learn more. A lot of people sometimes ask, so is a robot doing the surgery? No, the robot's not doing the surgery, but it's a robotic technology that assists the surgeon with more precise incisions, which means less downtime, quicker recovery, more accurate results. It's all at the Baton Rouge General Hospital. You can learn more at brgeneral.org, brgeneral.org. Locations all over the greater Baton Rouge area. Learn more today or find that location online at brgeneral.org.
6G. Network.
Bayou Ford has 0.9% for 60 months on new Ford F-150 plus $1,000 bonus cash. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile warranty. And right now, get $1,000 bonus cash plus 0.9% APR for 60 months on new 2021 Ford F-150. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
Our topic today is about savings. What is savings?
Hancock Whitney isn't just a bank for our clients. We're investing in our hometowns, making life better for everyone. So keep dreaming. We've got your back.
To the heroes who are working tirelessly to care for our communities, we thank you. We will never forget the countless hours you dedicated on the front lines, choosing to risk your own health to fight for our friends, neighbors, and family members.
I mean, you guys are out on the front lines fighting it.
We are grateful for your heroic acts and unwavering spirit. Together, we are overcoming this adversity and make our state healthier and more vibrant again. Ochsner Health.
She's back in the atmosphere with drops of Jupiter in her head. She acts like summer and walks like rain, reminds me that there's a time.
After further review with Matt Moscona, Presented by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana, Baton Rouge, Lafayette, and online at theantiagingclinics.com. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
All right, Will Wade, he was pissed after the game. Here's what he said.
It looked like it was pinned on the backboard. Didn't call it.
You think it looked like that, Ron? You think?
Yeah.
It was pinned on the backboard. It didn't look like it. It was.
And just the way your team responded after the technical, you
Shoot,
learn?
I told our guys, I got the technical because I got to have their back. We can't keep having this happen. At some point, I got to stand up and have their back. And so I had their back, and those guys had my back. Come back fighting like that. That's what it's about. As a coach, you have your kids' back, and the kids have your back. Our men have our back. That's what it's about. I'm proud as hell of them. I got to stand up for them. We can't just sit down and keep taking it.
It is a stark contrast to what he said a week ago, or not a week ago, or on Saturday after the Arkansas loss, where he said, we're not going to do anything different. We're just going to send in, or after the Tennessee game. No, I'm sorry, after the Florida game. We're going to send in, we're not going to send the tape into league office. It's not going to do anything, so I'll just teach him. It was very passive about it. And clearly that frustration, and Will's an emotional guy, boiled over last evening. What's interesting, as we've talked so much about the fouls and what's happened here, is that it hasn't persisted the entirety of the season and hasn't for the entirety of conference play. The opener against Auburn was even. It was 21-20, the fouls. The Kentucky game, it was 20-15. The Tennessee game was 26-18. I mean, really, it's been the last three games. I guess you can throw the Tennessee game in there as well, but the disparity has really been stark just in the Bama and Florida games because the Arkansas game was 21-18. Arkansas didn't have the first foul called against them until the under 8 timeout, but it ended up evening out. And in the second half of the game last night, it was what and what. And remember, LSU was intentionally fouling late. The disparity was in the first half where Bama wasn't whistled for a foul until the under 8 timeout again. So I completely understand the frustration. I understand Will Wade's frustration. I understand fan frustration. You all know me. You know where I'm going to go. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I do not believe that the league is trying to stick it to LSU. I do not believe officials step out onto the floor thinking, oh, that's that cheater Will Wade. We're going to show him today. I don't think in a split-second judgment call, like what happens during a continuous action sport like basketball, that the referees are there to screw LSU. It's a convenient and lazy fan notion that it's easy to spit out on Twitter amid your frustration, and I understand it. But there's a couple of coexisting realities here, which I believe. Number one, because of the way LSU plays, they are going to be more inclined to foul. LSU is going to press. They're going to pressure the basketball, and they are a very handsy team. It's what makes them very good. That's how LSU forces as many turnovers as it does, because they're always reaching. They're getting into passing lanes. They're trying to tip and strip balls constantly, and they make a lot of contact. Both ways last night, there weren't a lot of fouls called at the rim. There weren't. I mean, the block by Amwani at the end of the game was murder. I mean, you can laud it all you want. Amwani swallowed that guy. It was a ton of contact on that play. It wasn't all ball. He elbowed him in the top of the head. It was insane that wasn't called. But at that point, Will had made his point, and that's the benefit. That's the benefit as a coach of losing your mind, because you got to get an official's attention. And they did. And there were times last night where Nate Oates was losing his mind about no calls. And I don't think that crew was good, because you know my feeling. I don't think any officials are good at their job. And it's not that they're bad people. It's not that they're trying to screw you. It's just that when you're talking about men of that size and that speed and that power, moving at that pace, that quickly, and you're asking someone 30 feet away or 10 feet away to make a split-second judgment call on something that happens so instantaneously, it's impossible to do an effective job. And boy, college officials love them some charge call. God, they love them some charge call. But they don't know what they're doing with a block charge. They're guessing, largely. And you miss a ton of them. I definitely want to see if the frustration of last evening does start to help manipulate an official's and a crew's way that they call a game. Because you do build a reputation. When the Cincinnati Bengals had a guy like Vontaze Burfict, you knew what that guy's reputation was. The opposing coach was letting the officials know about it. Those officials knew about it, and they were looking at him. They were waiting for it. And this is an LSU team that's physical and active defensively and pressures a lot. They do make a lot of contact, and they're going to be whistled for a lot of fouls. It's not you're going to see LSU this disparity. Like LSU is going to be whistled for a lot of fouls, but you're also going to create a ton of steals, a ton of turnovers. That's the benefit of the way LSU plays. For me, you've got to eliminate the stupid mistakes. You know, Tari Eason had an offensive foul under his own basket. I'm sorry, a defensive foul under his own basket. Late in the ball game, after LSU had tied it, Eason had a chance at a finish around the rim. He missed it. Bama grabbed the defensive rebound. He fouled under his own basket. It was out of frustration. That's a terrible moment. That's a terrible foul. You know, the foul where Efton Reed fouled out was an offensive foul for a moving screen. It's a bad foul. Like, my point is, you're not going to eliminate this disparity altogether because of the way you play. But if you play smarter, the number can be low. Instead of 25, you can get down to 20. I mean, could those 5 possessions, those 3 trips in the bonus to the free throw line, those 6 free throws be the difference in the game? Maybe was last night. You don't turn the ball over, you make your free throws, you win the game. So I get it, man. In the midst of it, it's frustrating, and you want the whistle to blow, and you want the call to go your way. And 25-10 is alarming. It is. It's an alarming number when there's that big of a disparity in a game that's played as physical as last night was. That is alarming. I'm acknowledging that. But there was only a difference in 3 against Arkansas. There was a difference in 1 against Auburn. The Kentucky game was 20-15. I mean, you've had 2 really big outliers. And a lot of that is on the road. It's your fault for being stupid and committing boneheaded mistakes. So don't do that. If LSU gets more active on the defensive glass, that's the most egregious thing last night. Was committing 20 turnovers and allowing Alabama 19 offensive rebounds. Those 2 things are sickening. It has nothing to do with officiating. 20 turnovers. 20 turnovers, and you allowed Alabama 19 offensive rebounds. Fix those 2 things, and you win that game last night. Alabama was 0 for 15 from 3 in the second half. You held them to 20% from 3-point. They were ripe for the picking last night. You blew it. You can blame the officials if you want, but there's plenty that LSU needs to clean up too. Hopefully they can do it by Saturday against Tennessee. We'll see if they have Xavier Pinson back. We'll see an update on Darius Days. If you missed the news, LSU, they had plane trouble, so they were not able to fly home last night. So today they flew straight to Knoxville. So they'll have a couple of days there up in East Tennessee as they get ready for the game on Saturday at Thompson Bowling Arena. All right, y'all, it's After Further Review, brought to you by the Williamson Eye Center, 924-2020, 924-2020, or WilliamsonEye.com. You want to see 2020? Call 924-2020 for the Williamson Eye Center. Call Dr. Blake Williamson. Change your life. If you are like me and you just genetically have bad eyes and you've lived your life with contacts and glasses, or maybe you're just at that point now where you're having to consider contacts or glasses, there is a solution. The Williamson Eye Center has the solution for you. Maybe it's LASIK, maybe it's a lens replacement, maybe it's PRK. There are so many different options, no matter your refractive issue, where you can see 20/20 without contacts or glasses. Let the Williamson Eye Center help. 924-2020, 924-2020, or williamsoneye.com. All right, it's after further review. If you missed anything, remember AFR On Demand. You can catch any of it. We had Makai Wingo, LSU transfer defensive lineman Makai Wingo last hour. We'll get that up on the AFR YouTube channel as well. If you haven't done so yet, please subscribe to the AFR YouTube channel, the AFR LSU and AFR Saints YouTube channels. It's where our Saints and LSU content respectively go, so we'd appreciate that. Okay, let me knock out our final break of the show, y'all. When we come back, Otter Locks, see what the Otter's betting on tonight. Last time I checked, it is Thursday. And that means let's cash tickets tonight. It's AFR.
AFR.
And when you cash those tickets, you can take your cash straight to Hancock Whitney Bank, the official banking partner of LSU Athletics and the New Orleans Saints. Hancock Whitney Bank for 120 years. Hancock Whitney Bank, they have been a stellar part of our communities along the Gulf Coast. Maybe it's recovering from a storm like Ida. Maybe it's opening your small business that you've always dreamed of. Maybe it's saving money to put your kids through college. Whatever your dream is, at Hancock Whitney Bank for 120 years, their mantra has been your dream, our mission. So start at the website, HancockWhitney.com. Of course, you download the mobile app as well. I had a few checks come in the mail yesterday, mobile deposit like everybody does. All of the technology that you expect, all of the banking services you expect from a great big bank they have, but they thrive with the personalized service of a bank that's been in this community for more than a century. Hancock Whitney Bank.
It's the best of all worlds.
The extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Kushner.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
Do more of what you're born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana, Baton Rouge, Lafayette, and online at theantiagingclinics.com. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Down the stretch we come, final segment here on a Thursday edition of AFR. Muso, give me a check on our poll question, if you would.
All right, Citizens Bank poll question of the day for AFR. Will Zion Williamson ever play for the Pelicans again? 68% say no.
Ooh. I think they're wrong. All right, let's find out what we're betting on tonight. Time for Auto Locks.
Auto Locks, presented by Clark Crane Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in St. Francisville. Because a great deal is worth a short drive to Clark Crane.
So we turn to the one and only, the incomparable, the often incomprehensible, the Ott father himself, Jimmy Ott. Otter, how are you?
Doing just fine. LSU under. Ding! Alabama team total under. Ding! Rutgers outright winner in the Jersey Mike's Arena. Ding! Hello.
Hey, Otter, I bet the Rutgers game last night. I never even went and checked it. Like, I was so pissed off after the LSU game. I didn't even remember to go check it, so I heard Moose say that when we came on a break. I was like, hell yeah! I just opened my account. I was like, oh yeah! We cashed another one. And you know what tonight is? You know what tonight is?
What is tonight, man? What is tonight, son?
It's time to get rich! I'm rich! All right.
So I tell him, I said, Kaluch, I said, man, Matt's show, they are just blowing you up this week. I mean, Colucci Horn is just firing off like a damn fireworks show. I said, and so I said, don't forget now, early picks, no pressure, don't force it. You know, like he says, he finally, like 5 minutes ago, finally says, the early games are garbage.
Oh no!
I'm just don't kill them.
All right.
Okay. He said Columbus small. So Columbus small. Pull up the Columbus. What are they? Let's see. Plus a little money. Plus 15. Plus like 110.
I'm looking at 107. I'm looking at 107.
Okay. Plus 107. Plus a little money at Philadelphia.
So you're looking at a money line play on the Blue Jackets.
Small.
But he's not feeling it.
I think I'm intimidating him with this 7-0 week so far. I mean, you know.
I'm bummed. Man. Wait, so does he like anything in the late window, or we have to? What time is he going to be on? So we'll have to listen.
6:30.
Right,
6:30. Right, he will be on. We'll talk about his mama stuffing a turkey with Italian cheeses and Italian sausages and all those pleasantries. And you know, he just missed out. It's called Beat the Bookie, and he lost in the last week by one game. It was all the bookmakers, the sportsbook managers, and he got beat in the last week. So he's a little bummed there. But anyway, he'll be firing with some on the later games later on. But early on, Columbus small. I'm quoting from him. I think he put all that pressure on him. I think somewhere along the line he got back to him that he was getting extra bouquets thrown his way throughout the entire week.
All right, I made a little small play on it. I'll roll with Colucci. I don't like the lack of confidence, but I'll roll with it. All right, what do you have tonight, Otter?
Okay, one game. Get ready to go. It's the Battle of Indiana, and it's the same two teams. It's the same setting when Bobby Knight threw that chair on that Saturday afternoon. And so Purdue, very nice win on Martin Luther King Day on Monday at 11 a.m. tip. Went double overtime. They benefited a little bit from Kofi Cockburn going down with the fifth foul right in the first minute of the first overtime. They're the better team, but Indiana is really good at home. We're going Hoosiers. Hoosiers were good to us 2 Thursday nights ago. They blew out Ohio State on this same court. We're going with them again today. 8-ball, baby. Come on now. Get this 8 in the corner pocket here to finish this 8-0 week.
What
Come on, baby.
What do they say about a streak? You play the streak until you lose it because you only lose once. So we'll roll with the Hoosiers. By the way, is that money line or is that plus the 3.5?
Plus the 3.5.
All right.
Plus the 3.5.
We'll
Plus the
take
3.5.
Hoosiers plus the
Always,
3.5.
let me say this. Now, always buy the half, under 5 points, given or taken, 5 to 4 for just an extra 10 cents.
Damn it! I already bet it.
We'll bet more. Don't be. There's an old saying. Don't be a moron. Bet more on it.
Okay. Jimmy's at. He's right down the street from us here at Jolly Pearl. The handyman will be there. Yeah.
He's here, and he is ready, roaring and ready to go.
Well, I'll be looking forward to 6:30 to hear Colucci give the good games that aren't garbage.
Hey, we don't want to force this thing. Do you know how many times over the weekend I call you hockey guy? I'm like, no, we're not upsetting you. No. Why? I said, no. I mean, how are you going to kill this? He might go 0-50, Friday through with a Tuesday, but a Thursday, my man is gold. Okay?
We'll leave it alone.
No, greed will get you. Don't get greedy, son.
Thank you, Honor. We'll see you. Game Time with Jimmy Ott follows us in Baton Rouge. Muse, what'd you learn?
Makai Wingo, not a fan of crawfish yet.
Paulie, what did you learn?
Scott Kushner doesn't think Zion will play again this season.
What'd you learn, Matt?
Scott Kushner's phone sounds like he's underwater. We'll see you tomorrow at 3.
AFR.
Michelli Weighing and Measurement. Michelli.com. Michelli.com. Celebrating 75 years. Check them out on LinkedIn if you're not on LinkedIn. They have a lot of blog posts, a lot of updates at their LinkedIn as they celebrate 75 years, which is so cool, and just proud to be a very, very small part here recently of what they're doing at Michelli Weighing and Measurement. For 75 years, they've continued to grow and expand. They're one of our nation's leader. They are our nation's leading distributor of scales. You can learn more at Michelli.com. Michelli.com. In great ways, if you want to read a lot of their blog posts, like, for example, there's one that's up right now. If maybe like equipment maintenance is something that you're looking for, they can prevent issues down the road. Their latest blog post is 5 equipment maintenance tips for the new year. You can learn more at Michelli Weighing and Measurement, online at Michelli.com.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
I've got that blue sky. I've got that sunshine.
Bayou Ford has 0.9% for 60 months on new Ford F-150 plus $1,000 bonus cash. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile warranty. And right now, get $1,000 bonus cash plus 0.9% APR for 60 months on new 2021 Ford F-150. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Kids have staked out their place at Ochsner Medical Complex The Grove, where more than 30 pediatricians and pediatric specialists are all conveniently located under one roof, so you can spend less time driving and more time keeping your kids well. Yes! It's no wonder kids call dibs at The Grove.